ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
A unique and special night in Tampa sports. The Rays are playing the Texas Rangers Game 3 of the American League Division Series. That happening just over 20 miles from here in St. Petersburg. And the Buccaneers taking on the Colts on Monday Night Football. It'll be Indianapolis's offense on the field first, going up against Rondé Barber and the Bucs defense. The Colts won the toss and will receive. Michael Kanan, who went to college at Western Washington, which no longer has a football program, came over from Atlanta, has done a great job with the kickoffs for the Buccaneers so far. And Joe Lefege from Rutgers back deep to receive. Bucs trying to join the Saints atop the South at 3-1. Colts trying to avoid the 0-4 start. Monday Night Football back in Tampa Bay. And off we go from Raymond James. No return, and the drive will start at the 20-yard line. Return, Curtis Painter. Welcome to your first start in the National Football League. 6th round pick in 2009, his 3rd year in the league.
3rd year in this system. Very strong arm. Look for the no-huddle offense tonight, the trademark of the Indianapolis Colts. They need early success. Indianapolis has not scored an offensive touchdown in the first half. That would really help a young quarterback.
Opening drive starts from the 20, and Painter to the air right away through the hands of Pierre Garçon, and drops have been a problem for Garçon. Incomplete.
Yeah, a very simple play. I like the play called by Clyde Christian. Just the old flat curl, an easy throw, get your quarterback loosened up, but the ball must be caught by Pierre Garçon. No huddle, moving quick.
11 drops last year for Garçon, second to Wes Welker for on-target drops in the league. We had movement as Anthony Costanzo, the rookie left tackle, moved. Ron Winter is our referee here tonight. And like all the games you've seen, a lot of pink in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. National Football League doing that again this year.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 92. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
They get Brian Price, the 2nd-round pick Jaws talked about a moment ago, for the flag.
Right away, quick tempo, no huddle offense, something that has been missing with the veteran Kerry Collins at quarterback.
Collins is inactive tonight after that concussion last week against the Steelers. Joseph Adai to the left for a yard. Mason Foster, the rookie middle linebacker, made the tackle. Carried by Adai, I think a 6-year man out of LSU, will be featured a lot again for the Colts here tonight.
Joseph Adai had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons as a first-year, second-year player. They need to get this running game going and stay in 3rd down and shorts like they are right now.
Hide. And they go empty on 3rd and 3. Adai covered by a linebacker at the top of the screen. Painter goes to the middle, caught by Dallas Clark, guarded by Rondé Barber, and it's a 1st down for Indianapolis.
Now, Dallas Clark is a security blanket for any quarterback. He's going to get you the look you want. He's going to uncover. He's quarterback friendly. You see him go back to the inside and move away from Rondé Barber. An excellent throw by Curtis Painter, throwing away from the coverage. Nice start for the young quarterback.
And the run with Adai. Got a good block to get free to the outside and get to the 41-yard line. So 8 for Adai before Geno Hayes brings him down.
And Reggie Wayne does a lot of good things for the Indianapolis Colts. And one of them is blocking. That time he did an excellent job blocking the support that freed Adai. Outstanding football player.
That's Clyde Christensen. He is the offensive coordinator for Indianapolis. And the familiarity with the system with Painter allows them to come back to this no huddle, which has been missing from the equation in the first 3 games. Adai coming to the right. Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Aqib Talib came from the corner and brought the pressure with Michael Bennett.
An outstanding job by Aqib Talib. Adai wanted to bounce that to the outside. Pierre Garçon did not get the block. One thing about Aqib Talib, he'll get in there and make the hit in the running game.
You guys like the no-huddle look from the Colts to try to bring back what we've seen from them over the years?
I definitely do. Plus, it takes the sting out of the crowd early in football games. And I like being in 3rd and short with a young quarterback.
Second time they've had 3rd and 3. And the throw is caught for the first down, just shy of midfield with Reggie Wayne. Remember, guys, Reggie Wayne was very vocal about not giving Painter the chance and bringing in Kerry Collins. And this was part of the reason Reggie was vocal. He said, Curtis Painter knows this offense. He may not have the experience, but he allows us to be what we've been over the years with Peyton, at least in scheme and approach.
Yeah, what you see is that quick 3-step drop, get the ball out and throw it accurately.
The rookie from Syracuse, 4th-round pick DeLon Carter, is the running back next to Painter. From midfield, a first down throw, and there goes Dallas Clark. He's got 21 first down yards, and the Colts are inside the 30.
What a great start for Curtis Painter. Mixing the running game with high percentage throws. That time, Dallas Clark just runs a flat route right into the flat. And watch Sean Jones, number 26, in coverage. I think he just took his eyes off Dallas for an instant. He got outflanked, and Dallas Clark gets the corner. Good start for Clark.
Yeah, John, let's watch Dallas. He was grimacing coming back to the line of scrimmage. Pressure picked up by the rookie, and the pass by Painter is knocked down and incomplete.
Once again, you see the approach by offensive coordinator Clyde Christian, the quick drop, get the ball out of your hand, get the ball in space to wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. That's the plan right now. Quick reads, get the ball out.
Clyde Christensen, one of several who've been a part of this Colts or Bucs family, coming back to Tampa. Remember, Tony Dungy was here before he was let go and went to Indianapolis. With a lot of ties within these organizations. Here's Carter coming to the left. And they're going to gain a couple of yards. Daquan Bowers, the 2nd-round pick out of Clemson. Consensus All-America, slipped in the draft because of knee surgery. Makes the tackle.
And already Raheem Morris substitutes 3 defensive ends. Claiborne back in the game. Bennett. They have a deep rotation, especially in their front 4, and Raheem Morris uses them, especially in pass rush situations like this 3rd and 8.
10th play of this opening drive. 3rd and 8. Painter protected well, throws for Wayne, incomplete. It'll be 4th down. E.J. Biggers, who's the nickel corner, had coverage.
I really like what Tampa Bay did there. They hopped into a nickel jam front. They're going to cover everybody and play man-to-man and say, Curtis Painter, you make a throw against tight coverage to beat us. That time, Biggers, excellent job in man-to-man coverage. They're going to play a lot more man coverage, Jaws, than the Buccaneers are known for.
Yeah, not that old Tampa 2 that was predominant for many years. This is a in-your-face coverage scheme.
One of the best clutch kickers in the history of the NFL, Adam Vinatieri, knocks one through from the 45-yard field goal. Puts Indianapolis on the board in Curtis Painter's first drive as a starter. 11-play drive engineered by Curtis Painter. Jaws, you like what you saw in the approach?
Yeah, I absolutely love the play calling. You know, you want to keep this offense on schedule. The last thing you want to do with a young, inexperienced quarterback is get him into those known passing situations. 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Good job with the play calling and outstanding execution by Painter on the first drive.
Preston Parker back deep to receive Pat McAfee's kickoff. Colts have been a poor coverage team. McAfee's been booming them to touchback range at home. Good hang time, and Parker from about 6 yards deep going to take a knee. And Tampa will start like Indianapolis did its own 20. And Josh Freeman, our outstanding 3rd-year quarterback, on the field after this. West Coast here, Tampa, Florida. West Coast of this state. 3-0 Colts on their opening drive, and now the Buccaneers will take over like Indianapolis did at its own 20. And they also have a quarterback from the 2009 draft. 23-year-old Josh Freeman out of Kansas State, making his 29th NFL start. LeGarrette Blount is his running back, and Blount runs to the left for about 2 yards. Josh Freeman, give me your assessment here. What to look for tonight?
Yeah, Mike, I really like the guy. You know, he's now the prototype for an NFL quarterback. 6'6", 265, rocket arm, and mobile. And Freeman is also a very intelligent quarterback. He orchestrates much of this Bucs offense at the line of scrimmage. A very impressive young man in his third year.
They bring Eric Lorig in at fullback. He sent Blount off to the right. And LeGarrette, shy of 25, will be 3rd and 6 for this Tampa offense. Blount, not the every down back. We'll see Ernest Graham on a lot of third downs. A couple of second-year receivers in Mike Williams and Aurelius Benton. Kellen Winslow, now 8th year in the league, the son of the Hall of Famer. This is the most experienced part of this team up front. 2 6th-year tackles in Donald Penn and Jeremy Trueblood, who have to deal with Freeney and Mathis tonight. And they will certainly get help at different times. Graham's the back. It's 3rd and 6. And Freeman's throw over the middle is too high and incomplete, and it's 3 and out for Tampa out of the gate.
Well, Dwight Freeney reaches into his bag of tricks and pulls out the spin move right away. Donald Penn told us he's got to set for speed, but he's got to be ready for the bull rush and the spin. Nobody does it much better than Freeney, but that's a nice start by Penn. Just a high throw by Josh. And the Bucs have struggled early. They're a young football team. They've made numerous mistakes early. That time just an errant throw.
4th down, Michael Kanan to punt. Blair White back to receive. Long kick, good hang time. 56 yards taken by White at the 20, and he's brought down back at the 16-yard line. That's Devin Holland, the backup safety with the tackle. It's about 5 seconds of hang time with a 50-plus yard punt. Winning equation. Timeout. Oh, there is Peyton Manning, now missing his 4th game this season. Still not on injured reserve. He's up there listening to the play calls. That phone in front of him is just for Curtis Painter to call up to Peyton. Peyton's not going to call down to fill his mind. Kerry Collins started the first 3 games, suffered a concussion, feeling a little bit better, but inactive. So Painter starts at least for tonight. And we'll see after that. A die up the middle with a run for about 4 yards here on first down. See 79 there getting up off the pile for the Colts. That is Ben Ajalana. He's their 2nd-round pick out of Villanova. He's in right now at left tackle because Anthony Costanzo injured his ankle on that last drive.
That's one reason why Indianapolis has 2 backs. Look at this, man. A fullback playing for the Indianapolis Colts. 2 tight ends. They're not going to put that young left tackle at risk here.
Wow, you never saw much of this from the Colts.
That's Chris Gronkowski. And Adai picks his way through the left, and Joseph Adai has a first down. To the 31-yard line, Quincy Black made the tackle.
Just a weak side lead play. You see Gronkowski. Watch him come right off tackle. There's going to be a blitz on your right side of the screen. And Painter does a nice job audible into a weak side running play. The young quarterback has done a nice job throwing the football and handling the running game. Big first down when you're backed up.
On the 31, Painter play action, pressure picked up. His throw is through the hands of Pierre Garçon and incomplete. We'll just get you the Colts offense here after the incompletion. Got a lot of familiar names out there still. Adai, Wayne, Garçon, Colley, and Dallas Clark. We mentioned Costanzo was injured on that first drive. Also up front, it Reitz. Jeff Saturday is kind of keeping this group together year 13 with injuries around and new faces and a different quarterback. He had Peyton Manning for so many years. Jeff's so valuable to this Indianapolis team, especially now. Second and 10, Adai comes left, got to the edge. And a gain of about 6 as Geno Hayes takes it to the sideline.
Well, you recognize the skill players. They've been here a long time, but when you look at the offensive line, outside of Jeff Saturday, This is a patchwork group. Costanzo, the first-round draft choice at left tackle, just got hurt. Linkenbach at right tackle, an undrafted free agent, as is the left guard Wright. This is a very inexperienced group on the field right now, playing with Jeff Saturday at center.
We welcome those of you who just watched the Rays lose to the Texas Rangers 2-1. Opening drive, field goal for the Colts. Bucs 3 and out. Curtis Painter hit, loses the football, recovered by Michael Bennett of Tampa Bay.
Well, you have to communicate the protection and make sure everybody gets it. You're going to see pressure up the middle, and the line is going to slide this way, and the back, Joseph Adai, has to come across and get this block, but it wasn't communicated. Adai misses the block. Impact turnover by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are going to challenge not only the young quarterback, but this young, inexperienced, beat-up Colt offensive line.
John, real simple. Joseph Adai has to make that block. It's a quick drop. It looked like it was communicated. He just whiffed on it.
The undrafted Bennett, who had his first fumble recovery of his 3-year career last week against Atlanta, gets his second here. And a run by LeGarrette Blount is erased by Pat Angerer, the middle linebacker for the Colts.
Angerer, he had 20 tackles, Mike, last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Walked into the production meeting. He's no bigger than I am. Watch him take on LeGarrette Blount in the whole flush. He has tremendous instincts to find the football. Very productive at Iowa, and he's taken over for Gary Brackett, one of these Colt team captains who was just put on IR. Fine young football player.
Brackett hurt his shoulder against Houston, put on IR on Wednesday, out for the year. After officially no gain, Freeman throws to the right, caught by his tight end Luke Stocker, thrown down by Antoine Bethea. So let's introduce you to the rest of that Indianapolis defense. The sack masters on the edge, Freeney and Mathis, their 9th year making music. Brackett out, as we told you, so Angerer joins Philip Wheeler and Cavell Connor, young and athletic at the linebacker spot now. Also, Melvin Bullett's out for the year, put on injured reserve. So David Caldwell, in his first year out of William & Mary, gets the start. Here come Freeney and Mathis on 3rd and 6 as Freeman throws right, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. Mike Williams, the second-year receiver, could not contain it. Ruled incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Nice job by the Tampa offensive line, picking up the blitz, pressure on Josh Freeman, but Williams on the O-cut. Good route. Got to come up with that catch. Pretty simple as that. Rucker on the coverage, but that's on your hands. You got to snag that one.
That's disappointing by the Buck offense. They have really struggled. 31st in pro football in the red zone. Nice get off by the Colts. Got to make that play.
Connor Barth hasn't missed all year from 46. Off the upright. To the right. No good. So Indianapolis turns it over. Tampa takes it over at the 32-yard line. But the Colts defense denies him a first down and denies him points as Barth misses. Next Monday night, we're in downtown Detroit for the undefeated Lions. The comeback kids against Brian Urlacher and the Bears. Monday Night Football from Detroit, 8:30 Eastern next week. What a scene that'll be at Ford Field.
Well, we get a free meal. We'll go to the Tirico household.
Colts take over from their own 34. DeLon Carter runs to the left, and there's Carter for 15 first-down yards. This rookie 4th-round pick tackled by Corey Lynch.
There's a zone stretch play to the left side, and watch Gerald McCoy, the young Buccaneer defensive tackle, get penetration, but they have the right play call. They don't have the inside zone. They have the outside zone call. It. DeLon Carter, for a young guy out of Syracuse as a rookie, he's come in here, beat out Donald Brown, played well.
Donald Brown was their first-round pick in 2009 out of Connecticut. Has not touched the ball on offense yet this year. Carter's done a nice job. Third drive from the Colts, just shy of midfield. Painter contacted as he throws. Incomplete for Austin Collie. It was Tim Crowder who brought the pressure.
Well, a quarterback just hates quick pressure.
Well, they're playing all man-to-man coverage. I don't think I ever saw Peyton Manning see straight man-to-man coverage with a single safety in the last 10 years of his career. They are going to force Curtis Painter to get to some audibles that attack man coverage, and they're going to have to beat some quality man-to-man defenders and win this game.
But, John, I would do that. I would take the shot when you get that one-on-one.
Painter stumbles, still gets it to Carter, who gains about 4 yards. Now, for those of you who were watching the Rays game, and they did lose 2-1, as we mentioned, down 2-1 in the series, Curtis Painter's first NFL start. He has played a couple of games in his NFL career. Came in relief for the injured Kerry Collins last week. Collins is inactive with a concussion. Peyton Manning's in the building, made the road trip. Second straight game that he's watching from the coach's box. And Painter can call up to him and talk to him if he wants advice. But it is the kid out of Purdue, Painter, making his first start. 4-3, I beg your pardon, was the final score, not 2-1. There you see Peyton. Foul around the back, a lot of movement up front, and it causes a flag.
Well, it looked like Painter went with the hard count and drew the Bucs offside.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
And this sets up an obvious short yardage man-to-man situation. I'm surprised Aqib Talib, the Bucs' best corner, has been playing on the left. And Reggie Wayne, the Colts' best receiver, has been to the top of the screen against Biggers, number 31. I expect that matchup right there to be looked at carefully right here from the Indianapolis Colts.
Biggers was targeted a lot by Julio Jones, the receiver for Atlanta, last week. Bigger hit again as he throws. Haven't seen a whistle or a ruling yet. See, incomplete pass called from the sideline.
Adrian Claiborne just shot out of a rocket clean at Painter. You'll see number 94 untouched. Curtis Painter had no chance. Talk about quick pressure. Very fortunate. Just got that ball out of his hand, moving forward.
I mean, just.
Whoa.
That is very close to the play that was a fumble with Mark Sanchez yesterday. That's why I was waiting. And Ron Winter, the referee, didn't move a muscle. He's just standing there watching the play. Finally, the linesman on our side signaled incomplete. Pat McAfee to kick to Preston Parker. Good rush. They got McAfee. No flag. And fair caught at the 10-yard line by Parker. Painter's been getting heat. He's missed his last 5 with the pressure from the pass rush, including the first-round pick this year, Adrian Claiborne. The Colts and the Bucs on Monday Night Football, one of the most historic Monday Night Football games of all time. From down 21 with 5:09 left, Peyton Manning leading a comeback against John's Buccaneers, eventually capped off after a penalty by a Mike Vanderjagt doink off the upright and in field goal to give the Colts a 38-35 win. And who would have guessed 8 years later, you two guys are 2 booths away. Peyton's over there and you're over here.
That's good. They need to keep him locked up. I'll tell you what, don't we have any more highlights of you getting sacked? Why do you got to show that?
I'd like that one. Finally, we got some
Peyton Manning
shots being humbled.
Have you talked to Peyton at all about that game over the years?
Do we talk? We talk twice a year about that. And on the Christmas card, I'm well thought of.
It was a historic comeback.
I went to bed.
So did most of America. First team in NFL history to rally from down 21 in the final 4 minutes of a game to win. Indianapolis on that night. LeGarrette Blount, 13 yards, first down.
Yeah, LeGarrette Blount is a tempo setter. He can shorten the game. You can hand him the ball repeatedly, and he will pound you. He can shorten the game or shorten your neck. He runs low to the ground. He's powerful. He's elusive. And I really think Indianapolis has to continue to jump into some of these 8-man fronts to have a chance to stop this big back.
Freeman, ball handling issues, lucky to get it back, but finds Kellen Winslow. He hurdles a would-be tackler and dives near the first down mark.
Well, it's just LeGarrette Blount. No disrespect to anybody else, but when you fake the ball to LeGarrette Blount, everybody's coming to the party, and there's going to be nobody left for Kellen Winslow. and you commit too many defenders, Kellen Winslow will hurt you on these naked bootlegs, and the Buccaneers do a great job marrying these running plays with these bootlegs.
Very lucky that ball bounced back to his hands and it didn't turn into a Jamal Anderson touchdown the other way. Now they give to Blunt, carries Angerer right to the first down line at the 33-yard line. Let's see if we have an official coming in from the side with a flag.
Holding. Offense number 82. A 10-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Kellen Winslow.
Well, it seems just about every first quarter, for whatever reason, this Buccaneer offense, I know they have a lot of young players, they make too many penalties, too many mistakes early in football games. And you can't do that and be a dominant championship team, Jaws.
And John, what we just saw now, Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis back on the field. They were not on the field to start that drive, and the Bucs actually took a shot. They were going for the big play, but Freeney and Mathis now back.
Second and 13. Freeman throwing the screen, tight end. Luke Stocker's got it. Only going to get out to the 25-yard line. Philip Wheeler made the tackle.
Yeah, last week when I was checking out the tape of that Steelers game, when the Steelers saw that Dwight Freeney was not on the field, nor Mathis, what they did was they changed up. They went to a play, their shot play, the big plays, because you're not going to get the pass rush pressure. Roethlisberger was going to get time to let the play develop deep down the field. That's what teams do now. When Mathis and Freeney are off the field, offenses and the offensive play caller here, Greg Olson, will go for their shot plays.
Out here now, 3rd and 8, putting the pressure on. Greg Lumpkin's got it. A missed tackle gets him a first down at the 34-yard line.
Tampa 2 coverage. It's famous. It started right here, men, in Tampa, Florida. That time, the Colts play it. And you have to be able to tackle and get off the field if you're an outside linebacker or a corner. The outside backer and the corner have to key the quarterback, break on the ball, and make this tackle an inexcusable error. The Indianapolis Colts are last in pro football on 3rd down.
Philip Wheeler, the one who missed, and there are the two guys you talked about, Jaws. Freeney and Mathis off the field. So let's see if Tampa can take a shot. Reverse with Mike Williams.
They need to take a shot. Yell down there, throw the ball deep, take a 7-step drop. Freeney and Mathis are not on the field. Throw the football while they're resting.
So who has to do this? Is it upstairs in the coach's box? Do you have to tell the guys on the sideline, tell Freeney his headset to check to that play?
Absolutely. That's what coaches are paid to do. And I know Greg Olson is thinking the same way. Don't be surprised if there's not a shot play right here or a long developing pattern to take advantage of Brayton and Anderson playing defensive end.
It begs the second question, why take them both off the field at the same time? Pump and goes, covered downfield. Freeman ad-libs and completes on the sideline. It really is Ben. Inside the 20, inside the 10, and all the way home. Touchdown, Tampa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, we have an official coming back on the far side. We have a flag that's out of bounds on the opposite side of the white stripe in the Colts bench area. I wonder if Ben was out of bounds and became the first person to come in and touch it.
Illegal touching on the forward pass. Number 17 stepped out of bounds. Came back in as first to touch the ball. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
It nullifies what would have been a 62-yard touchdown. If you go out of bounds, you cannot be the first one to touch it. As that brings us to the end of the first quarter. So there's Ben with a foot clearly out of bounds. Comes back in to catch it. That's the correct call. And just a mistake that erases a touchdown. So after one, it's Indy 3-0.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a GMC Sierra Denali at gmc.com/NFL. The Droid Bionic, made from machines to rule all machines, only at Verizon. And ESPNshop.com, where you can get all of your official NFL sideline gear.
From Tampa, tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Challenge of a scoring play that was nullified by a penalty. So that's why it doesn't go automatically to replay. Every scoring play gets looked at upstairs, but the call on the field nullified the score. Thus, the Buccaneers had to challenge to get a second look. So here's the look at it over there on the sideline. There's nothing conclusive there to change the call on the field. You can't tell if his foot is hovering over the line or is down. So Ron Winter is over there looking at that. And you can take two angles and piece the evidence together. Here's one last look on a freeze. And from here and that angle, it looks like it's down and out of bounds.
Well, it is a 62-yard touchdown play. So if you're Raheem Morris, you can understand why he's challenging this play.
Tampa Bay challenged the ruling on the field of an illegal touch of a forward pass. After review, the ruling on the field stands. Second down, Tampa Bay.
He says stands.
Tampa Bay is charged with a team timeout.
And they lose a challenge, cannot earn a third. He said stands not confirmed. Now, I don't know if it's just being lax with the verbiage they're supposed to use. But in any case, it is 2nd and 11. And now the second quarter begins. And the pass rushers are back. Freeney and Mathis back on the field. Freeman throws, complete to Kellen Winslow. He'll get it over the 40 to the 42-yard line. Third and manageable coming up. Son of the Hall of Famer. Remember all of his time in Cleveland. He was a top 10 overall pick in the draft, but spent many injury-filled seasons after that motorcycle accident that he had in 2005. But he's come here to Tampa. 77 and 66 reception seasons. Has a dozen catches coming into tonight.
Freeney and Mathis are not in the game. Another shot opportunity for Freeman.
This is 3rd and 2. Freeman escapes and he throws incomplete. As Terrence Johnson had the coverage.
And it's kind of interesting when Freeney and Mathis are on the field. The opposing quarterback usually gets time to survey the field and find someone. That time Freeman moved his left but made an inaccurate throw.
This young man that is about to punt the football puts on some orbital displays. There's a very good chance there will be no return. Kanan can hammer it.
First one was 57. Great hang time to pin him inside the 20. Fair caught by Blair White at the 15. That was 5.0 on the hang time. So the Colts will take over at their own 16-yard line.
I think it's time for Indianapolis to make some adjustments on their offensive line. I know they've got some young players. They just lost their left tackle, but Tampa Bay repeatedly is blitzing the Colts, and in the last two possessions they've made two critical errors, not accounting for outstanding rushers. So the Colts must expect pressure and they must deal with it.
Well, the Bucs have gone to in the past series a 5-down line. They tried to cover up each offensive lineman, force them to go one-on-one, and the Bucs were successful.
Starting from the 16-yard line, Painter steps up. He throws downfield. A miscommunication with Garcon on that side, and the pass is incomplete. Well, Curtis Painter, not seen very often. He was the number 3 quarterback most of his rookie year. Then Jim Sorgi got hurt, and that was the undefeated season, 14-0. You know, the players wanted to keep going, but they pulled the Colts starters, and then Painter came in. Manning went to the sideline. Rex Ryan and the Jets put on the pressure. A 15-10 lead turned into 19 straight Jets points. Jets won 29-15. Painter cleaned up in the next game, played the majority against Buffalo. Really didn't see much action after that. Didn't play at all in 2010. And came in a mop-up role to start, or to finish, I should say, the Pittsburgh game last week. So this is just his 4th NFL game. Really the first time he's ever been able to prepare at the NFL level as the starter.
I think he takes a shot here. He sees the one-on-one coverage. Go down the field.
Joseph Adai to the right. Bucs were coming. Mason Foster, the rookie out of Washington, is calling the signals. His third-round pick made the tackle.
Yeah, I thought Painter did a nice job of reading Rondé Barber to his left coming off the slot. He read it pre-snap. He ran away from Rondé Barber. And sometimes when you read that blitz coming off the corner, take your shot, go down the field. Move your pass protection. You got one-on-one, and you might get that home run.
Well, Peyton Manning's across the way here salivating at all this man-to-man coverage. He is dying for the Colts to max this protection and take some shots with these skilled receivers they still have here in Indianapolis.
Painter gets rid of it. It's incomplete. As he tried to get it to Austin Collie, Painter's missed his last 7 passes.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage, and you have to have some man-to-man routes. And when you just run up here and hook, Albert Mack is going to have no problem covering Austin Collie. They need some crossing routes, some slant patterns, some routes that are designed to beat man-to-man coverage, because the Buccaneers have made their point. They're blitzing, and they're playing man-to-man.
And Painter's 0 for 6 versus the blitz. It's been effective.
Big kick by McAfee. 59 yards. Preston Parker from the 23. Drops 4 more, but a marker comes down on the Stevie Brown tackle. You're getting some king-size punts hit by these 2 kickers tonight, McAfee and Kanan.
Ron Winter's been a busy man tonight, Mike.
At a leisurely pace at that. Stevie Brown came in on that tackle. Let's see where he got him as that flag was thrown.
Personal foul. Illegal horse collar tackle. Defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
The man who made the tackle was 28. Stevie Brown down there. You can't go on the inside of the player's shoulder pads, even if it's not from the back, from the side. They called that one off. Josh Freeman's 23 years old. Raheem Morris is 35. So a very young quarterback and head coach. And even though Freeman was the first-round draft pick in 2009 when Raheem Morris took over as the head coach here of the Buccaneers, they knew each other beforehand. When Raheem left the Bucs for 1 season, it was at Kansas State, and that opportunity gave Morris the confidence to step in the draft room and say, let's trade up and go get this guy. 1st and 10 from the 38. Here is LeGarrette Blount running to the right, carrying the would-be tackler Chris Rucker to the 44-yard line. So we talk about this. Raheem Morris was here with John as an assistant, 02-05. Went to Kansas State in 06. Josh Freeman was the young quarterback, had great success. So when Morris comes in 2009, they bump up in the draft, go get Freeman. And Raheem says, I knew the kid. I saw him play against some high-caliber Big 12 competition. I want him to be my quarterback for 10 years.
One of the greatest moves in Tampa Bay franchise history right there.
In the 44, here's Freeman. That pass caught by Mike Williams into Colts territory at the other 44-yard line. Gain of a dozen.
Well, it's just a hitch route, a 3-step drop by Freeman. Young Rucker playing, or excuse me, 23 is at corner. Just a hitch route. Nice job after the catch by Mike Williams. An outstanding young receiver. They need to get going again, and that's a great way to do it. Off coverage, nice high percentage throw. Nice job after the catch against Terrence Johnson.
Yeah, Terrence Johnson out there. Boy, he gave him a big cushion. Take advantage of it.
Play pass chased by Freeney. Throw to Winslow, complete. Wheeler on the tackle along with Jerron Powers.
This is what Josh Freeman does very well. He gets to the edge of the defense. He makes them commit. He can run with the football. He can throw from different platforms when he's outside. You see him back here running to his left, sets his feet, and delivers a strike to Winslow. Not easy to do, folks, but Josh Freeman is the complete package. He can make every throw from every angle.
2nd and 3. Blount saw the right side closed up, an angerer there. Up close off. Drake Nevis, the 3rd-round pick out of LSU. on the tackle.
That's one thing that I think the Bucs struggle a little bit with is you get tendencies. Here's Bethea. He comes down. It makes it an 8-man front. The play will start to the left. It'll come back to the right. But LeGarrette Blount is in the game to carry the ball. And if he's in the game in a passing play, usually it's a naked bootleg. Blount has only 6 career catches and over 250 career rushes. That's a strange distribution.
Rookie Chris Rucker at the bottom of the screen following Desmond Briscoe in motion. Rucker playing a lot of corner here tonight. Pass complete to Ernest Graham. Drops it, now ruled incomplete. Ruled incomplete as Antoine Bethea made the stick in the strip and Rucker was trying to take it home. Catch, the turn upfield by Graham. What do you guys think?
I don't think he ever had the football. Correct call. Let's see it right here. Ball's coming
Catch,
in.
and there are a couple steps there.
Well, did he have complete control of the
Not
ball?
a catch. I don't understand football anymore. Throw the flag.
Would you challenge that?
Challenge it right now.
I would have challenged that, yeah. Because there was a clear recovery there. But ruled incomplete. That whistle killed the play and trying to keep it inside the goal line. And a beautiful job on the end-over-end kick. Down by Adam Hayward at the 1. A knuckleball by Kanan. Stop there inside the 5. Long field coming up for Curtis Painter. Such a heartbreaking bit of news in September when we found out Leroy Selman passed away. Great at Oklahoma. Then really the original Buck. First ever pick by Tampa Bay. 1979, that year that the bad Bucs became playoff team. He was the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Pro Football Hall of Famer. Stroke at his Florida home, 56 years old, passed away on September 2nd. His number is retired. He's remembered by this organization. He did so much in his playing career and beyond. He was around the Bucs a lot. Started the football program at the University of South Florida here in Tampa as their athletic director. What a great guy, John, who you got to know very well.
Yeah, and a great friend to a lot of people in this community. Hard to replace men like Leroy Selman.
Ball was first touched at the 2. 98 yards for Painter. Turn and give to Adai. Look out. Gets it out of the goal line, past the goal line, out of the end zone, but loses a yard.
Well, what you try to do is just move the ball forward. You got to win the line of scrimmage. The Colts do not. You can see their offensive line is pushed back into the end zone. Adai did a great job just getting out of the end zone to avoid the safety. This is a tough, physical, young Bucs defensive line.
On 2nd and 11, Painter from his own end zone gets rid of it, incomplete. Trying to get Reggie Wayne to keep the lead, was covering. Reggie wanted the flag, and he got it.
Boy, Reggie turned around and looking for the official. Late call, but Reggie Wayne got the call on Aqib Talib.
These officials are having a lot of conferences to make sure these calls are in order.
Holding. Defense number 25. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
This is a sprint out to the wide side of the field. Painter comes to his left side, top of the screen. Aqib Talib, I think he hooks Reggie.
Yeah,
they're going to call that.
Got Jersey with the right hand.
Big first down for Indianapolis, who has struggled recently running the football. Remember, they only have one blocking tight end, number 81, Eldridge. And when Dallas Clark's in the game, I think Tampa Bay knows he's going to be detached or they're not running his way.
And he is detached now, slot left.
Painter gets rid of it quick to Brody Eldridge. Gets the 12-yard line, just his 3rd reception here. The guys in single digits. Eldridge, as we have an injured player here back in the end zone for Tampa. It's Brian Price.
Price has had a lot of hamstring problems, missed all of last season.
Yeah.
That is not a good sign, Mike. He has really come on here and become a physical presence. the big guy coming off the left side of your screen. Let's see what happened to him.
Goes to hit Painter there. John, you talked about a lot of hamstring injuries. It's just a painful injury to describe. He had to have both hamstrings reattached to his pelvis in the offseason. And as he tried the rehab process back, even as late as June and early July, he could only run a block. He couldn't get his hamstrings to fire after the reattach. But as the summer went on, he was able to get back to conditioning, to running on the practice field, and had a few splash plays, including a sack last week against Matt Ryan in Atlanta. They check him, 2nd and 3. Painter's throw open is Garcon, and Pierre Garcon down the sideline, inbounds, and all the way for a touchdown. 87 yards.
That's a great job by Painter, but Tampa Bay is playing a new coverage I haven't seen much of, and Talib did not get back to that half coverage, or they blow a coverage on the strong side, and the young quarterback makes them pay. I don't know if Talib's supposed to get back to the deep half and they're going to cut underneath Garcon, but they have the perfect play called. He threw it right in the dead zone between the deep half corner and the underneath safety, and Pierre Garcon makes the Buccaneers pay.
Well, the one thing you see is the arm strength of Curtis Painter. That ball got on Garcon in a hurry and allowed him not to break stride and take it to the house. Big arm to make that throw.
Well, Curtis Painter, well, every scoring play gets reviewed, and I believe they're going to take time to check this.
Previous play will be reviewed.
So they'll watch Garcon down the sideline on this 87-yard score. So we'll take a peek and look at it. Is it one of the longest pass plays in Colts history? As we looked at replays, as Ron Winter is during the timeout, didn't see anything conclusive. Now there's one part where Aqib Talib's body, as it comes down, obscures the view of Pierre Garcon's foot from the end zone angle. So as we look at it here, this is the step in question. And you cannot tell there. Ruling on the field is a touchdown. There's nothing you can see there. Now that view from the end zone off to your right as you look, Talib's body obscures the foot. You get a look from the side here. They try to get it gauged, and I don't know if you can see anything here to overturn it. Ball on the field, a touchdown. Here's Ron Winter.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So Curtis Painter has something that Peyton Manning never did in the regular season. A touchdown pass that long. Manning's long in the regular season game was 86 yards. So that for Painter is an 87-yarder.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on.
Hey, look, if you play in the Peyton Manning era, if you're a Colt, you're not going to get in the record book if you're a quarterback very often. So Curtis earned that line tonight, 87 yards, 5th longest pass touchdown or play in Colts history. And Adam Vinatieri's extra point, and the winless Colts lead 10-0 over the Buccaneers. A lot of Indy folks are happy, including the Sheriff. Well, the Buccaneers are the 2-1 team, trying to join New Orleans atop the NFC South. The Colts just trying to scratch and claw and get something positive, and this is a very good start as Indianapolis leads 10-0.
It's a great start. Curtis Painter missed Garcon last week against the Steelers. Yep. Late in the game, he was wide open. Painter threw it over his head. That time he has Garcon wide open, throws a strike. And that's what you want to see. A young quarterback, get some composure, make the plays that are there to be made. That's a big one there.
Especially the Colts getting that first offensive touchdown in the first half this year. And halfway back in the end zone, Preston Parker can't get to the 20. We get you to Trey Wingo for SportsCenter right now.
All right, Michael, lots of questions about Peyton Manning's health. They're questioning Ben Roethlisberger's health right now after this hit in the loss to the Texans. ESPN's Chris Mortensen saying it's a sprain, but they would not speculate right now about his health for Sunday's game against the Titans. The Rangers beat the Rays 4-3 to take a 2-1 lead in the LDS. Colby Lewis gets the win. It means Matt Harrison can try and close out the Rays tomorrow night. It's 2-2 between the Yankees and the Tigers, Mike.
Okay, Trey, thank you. What a great 24 hours it is here in Tampa sports, an area much maligned for not supporting its teams. The Rays, with both of their playoff games sold out, and the first sellout since the end of the 09 regular season here for the Buccaneers.
They've got to get their offense cranked up right now. They have shown nothing so far.
Play action. Freeney thrown to the ground. A flag comes down as a pass is caught by Winslow to the 41-yard line. But Dwight Freeney standing at the 10-yard line saying, boys, come on back.
Dwight Freeney on the field, but Robert Mathis is not. Here you see Freeney.
Holding. Offense number 70. Penalized half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
Donald Penn trying to negotiate. Penn's first NFL start was against Freeney back in 2007.
And Donald Penn has seen some real good rushers this year. And Freeney is probably the best. But take a look at Penn. Handling the spin move to the inside. Once again. Holding his own. Got bold right there. How about this Freeney? You can have a couple good snaps against Dwight, but you can have some bad ones. He's that good.
Well, this is what this defense is made for, to play with a lead and pass rush. Freeman throws. There's Aurelius Ben. Inbounds, holding on into Colts territory at the 46-yard line.
Well, there are very few quarterbacks in this league that could rifle that throw in there like Josh Freeman did. This is that throw that you must have touch on the throw, but still stick it in there. You see Freeman right here. Just snaps this ball off. You see the seam. Takes Aurelius Ben right into the seam. Throw him open. There's that void in the defense. Sticks it right in.
A 43-yard pickup to Ben. Second year, second-round pick out of Illinois. Here's LeGarrette Blount. Lowers the shoulder. Pounds through David Caldwell.
That's a one-back power play, and Pro Bowl right guard Davin Joseph and Jeremy Trueblood are here to deuce block. That's a double team block at the point of attack. Those two offensive linemen have been pancaking defensive tackles for the last 4 or 5 years. That's why they're here, and that's why they run these gap schemes, these power plays to the right behind Trueblood and Joseph.
Timeout for Freeman. There's Blount right through the would-be tackle of Cavell Connor to the 25-yard line. Philip Wheeler came up with a big hit, but 15 yards too late. First down.
That's a rare reception by LeGarrette Blount. Just a check down off hard play action pass. Freeman's looking for Ben on a deep crossing route. He checks the ball down, and LeGarrette shows open field running. Listen to this.
And once again, Freeney not on the field, so the quarterback's going to get a little more time. Take advantage of his absence.
Best drive of the night for the Bucs offense. Quick toss, Mike Williams. Made a move inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line. Another first down, working on Terrence Johnson, the corner.
Yeah, if Terrence Johnson is going to play that far off. Josh Freeman says, I won't hand it to Blount. There's 8 Indianapolis Colts within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and Terrence Johnson is 8 yards off. Freeman just picks it up, throws it out there on a built-in one-step hitch route, and Johnson can't tackle Mike Williams.
Bucs at 79 yards up until the last 4 plays. And in the last 4, they've gone 76 yards. In the red zone, Freeman. End zone. Should have been intercepted. David Caldwell, who's in his first year. He was on the injured reserve list last year, so not a rookie. He replaced Melvin Bullock playing safety, and he dropped an interception.
That's an inexcusable force by Freeman. It's 4 verticals are going to be running all go, and just watch how late Freeman is. And number 30, Caldwell, just reads his eyes. You have to make that interception, Jaws. That is a late force by Josh Freeman in the red zone. Very uncharacteristic of him.
Well, he had one picked off last week against Atlanta in this area of the field as well.
Run blunt to the right, looking for space. Cavell Connor brings the first hit. And we'll get third down coming up inside of 5 minutes.
2-yard gain. 3rd and 8 at the 12.
Anything you can put your finger on, Josh, with the red zone struggles in the first 3 weeks for Tampa?
You know, I think what happens to quarterback, you know, you go through a lot of those scripted plays early in games, and that interception was early in the game, and you anticipated coverage because you looked at it all week in practice, and all of a sudden it's different. But on that throw there, Freeman was just late with the throw. He didn't anticipate very well.
Freeney and Mathis on the field. Craig Lumpkins the back. Now 3rd and 8, Freeman, crossing route. Preston Parker right to the goal line. And just shy. It'll be 1st and goal, Tampa Bay.
That is great play designed by Greg Olson. He knew it was going to be Tampa 2 coverage, and Lumpkin came right out of the backfield and timed this block perfectly. Watch him come right out of the block, and he's going right out of the backfield. He's going to get a block right as Parker catches his football. It's a design catch and block, and that's an excellent job by Lumpkin and Preston Parker, who's come out of nowhere to become a go-to guy on 3rd down for the Bucs.
Inside the 1, Eric Lorig is the fullback. LeGarrette punt the back. Freeman trying to sneak it in. Is in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Josh Freeman historically has been a slow starter, but when he gets it going, he could put the yards up and points on the board.
And that's a big reason why the Colts are 0-3, man. Caldwell has a chance to make an easy interception. You're off the field. You have the 10-point lead. You have to make the plays that are there to be made. Costly mistake by Caldwell.
So Connor Barth is on, and it's 10-7. Colts with an 87-yard touchdown. The Bucs respond with an 81-yard touchdown drive. Josh Freeman has 2 career rushing touchdowns in the NFL. 1 last week, 1 this week. Entertaining first half here in Tampa. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Wendy Nix on the sideline. Sellout crowd here at Raymond James Stadium. Just watched the face of the franchise, the leader of this Buccaneer team, Josh Freeman, take him back down the field after an 87-yard Pierre Garçon touchdown reception and get the Bucs on the board for the first time tonight. Ball fell off the tee, and very little to do with the wind. It's an ideal night here in Tampa, right about 70 degrees and very little breeze. Joe LaFedge out of Rutgers, been the main kickoff return man for the Colts this year. It's one of the line drive that bounces off of Eldridge. So you got to get on it. LaFedge gets it at the 9. And he's going to be shown the sideline at the 17.
I go back. Nice drive by the Bucs, but they were very fortunate. And there's a big reason why the Colts are sitting here 0-3. David Caldwell, a backup safety who's filling in for Melvin Bullitt, one of their team captains, has got to make this interception.
Ooh.
It takes 7 points off the board. It keeps you in a 10-point cushion. That's what teams that lose do. They fail to make routine plays. You can see Caldwell still discussing with himself.
And you mentioned he's starting for Melvin Bullitt, who went on the injured reserve on Wednesday with his shoulder injury. He's the guy who replaced Bob Sanders, who was so often injured, then went to San Diego, and he's on IR now this year. DeLon Carter, right, loss of a yard. Michael Bennett drags him down.
Well, the Buccaneer defense now beginning to heat it up. A little momentum shift from their offense. You'll see number 71 Bennett just stretch this play out. Does a heck of a job of fighting off Linkenbach and makes the play.
Good to see Brian Price injured on that last drive, back on the field, right over Jeff Saturday, 92 for Tampa, back in the lineup. Well, it looks like the old Colts offense. Everybody coming up to the quarterback. What do we do? But what can he get him to? Not that play. Gerald McCoy, 3rd overall pick in 2010 with an eraser.
Well, that's a jailbreak. And Gerald McCoy is showing his get off right here. Number 93, just a quick penetration. When you get that kind of penetration from he and Bennett, those plays have no chance to get started.
That was reminiscent of one of your old teammates, Warren Sapp, John, just firing through that gap and making a play.
Well, he's been compared to Tommy Harris at Oklahoma, Warren Sapp. He's been compared to everybody. Now he has Keith Millard, another former great coach in him. A lot of history at that defensive tackle position down here in Tampa.
Play clock. Didn't get it off. Too late. Delay a game before the timeout.
This is the down that the Colts try to avoid with Curtis Painter. 3rd and long.
Well, it's mistakes.
You threw the flag before the timeout, guys.
Timeout. Indianapolis. Prior to the expiration of the play clock.
Good eyes, Mike.
That was the wrong call. Timeout. Indy still facing 3rd and long. They get the timeout. It'll be 3rd and 14 with 2:20 left here in the first half, and this sellout crowd supporting the Bucs defense.
Keep an eye on rookie Adrian Claiborne, number 94, right here at the bottom of your screen.
Rushing 4. Painter just gets it to relief and a dive. Good block on Rondé Barber by Jeff Saturday, but only to the 20-yard line is a die, and Indianapolis will punt it. Penalty marker down way back at the 45-yard line, as Pierre Garçon and I think it was Aqib Talib were involved in blocking way downfield.
I look like cage fighting, Mike.
Yeah.
I like the call by Clyde Christensen. 3rd and 13. You know the pressure's going to be coming from that Bucs defense. Go to a safe play. If you get a couple blocks, you may spring a dive for a first down, but at least you don't get that dramatic turnover play that kills you.
So this will be interesting because this scuffle lasted a while.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 25, defense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 85, offense. By rule, those penalties offset. Makes it 4th down.
So Indianapolis will kick it away with Pat McAfee as they replace the ball at the 20-yard line.
And Tampa Bay prepares for a 2-minute drive. They have 2 timeouts left. Plenty of time to get something before the half.
They rewind the clock because the play was stopped inbound, so the Colts can let it go right to the 2-minute warning before they punt it, and they will. 2 minutes left, first half here in Tampa, and Indianapolis leads Josh Freeman's team by 3. Two-minute warning here in Tampa. Colts leading 10-7. Indianapolis trying to break out of the winless category. Miami, St. Louis, Minnesota also there. Quarter of the way through the season after tonight's game is done. Only one team's ever made the playoffs after an 0-4 start. Indianapolis trying to avoid that start tonight. Good pressure on McAfee. Gets it away with great hang time. Not a lot of depth. And a fair catch of a 42-yard kick is made by Preston Parker. There's a flag on the far side of the field. And as they take a minute or so to sort that out, we remind you that NFL 32 with our friend Susie Culver and Chris Mortensen. All of our NFL analysts, they use social media, guests call in. It's been a great way to keep up to date on what happens every day in the NFL. Your team, one of the 32, they cover it each weeknight, 6 Eastern on ESPN2.
Right. During the kick, illegal block in the back. Number 23, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And a Myron Lewis, a block in the back when there was no return going on as he was carrying it downfield. And there he has a conversation with Raheem Morris, who turned 35 in September, has the youngest roster in the National Football League. Now you see that block. So with a young roster like this, a lot of those mistakes that happen, and Raheem has oftentimes dealt with players on the sideline of those issues. He's kind of growing up and learning together in this bunch. 2-minute drill time for Freeman. It begins with Ernest Graham and a gain of 6.5.
And Josh Freeman, very good in this situation. They love to use trips formation and isolate Mike Williams. But Winslow and Ernest Graham dominate against double zone, single coverage. They look for Williams.
Throw over the top is deflected, so on the pass rush, and not able to knock it away. That's Drake Nevis, the rookie out of LSU, who's been really having an impact the last couple of weeks for Indianapolis.
Mike, you're absolutely right. You know, when you plug in a tape and you look for guys that flash, Drake Nevis is one guy that shows up. He's all over the field. He takes advantage of the opportunities that he gets.
Freeman goes shotgun run with Graham up the middle. And a good cut to the outside. Ernest Graham into Colts territory. Taken out of bounds at the 40. 28 first down yards and a flag on the back end on the opposite side of the field. It's thrown back in the area where the cutback blocks are being made.
That flag was thrown from Orlando.
And about 5 minutes late.
There's the guy watching that backside of the play, though.
During the run, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 87 offense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Don't often get a wide receiver downfield picking up an unnecessary roughness penalty on a running play. But Preston Parker, the second-year man out of North Alabama, erases the big game.
Once again, a one-back power play right off that right side behind Trueblood and Joseph. And it's out the gate. But watch the young receiver, Preston Parker.
Block on Nevis downfield. Knocks the 295-pounder down.
That's pretty good to me.
Still the first down gain as it was downfield, so the chains move and Craig Lumpkin gains 9 yards with 1:12 on the turning clock.
Josh Freeman, one of those quarterbacks that loves the shotgun, very comfortable, away from center. In fact, coming into this game, 76% complete while in the gun.
Second and a yard, Winslow complete to midfield, tackled by Cavell Connor. We have a timeout taken. We have an injury to an Indianapolis player. We have a Colt hurt in Eric Foster. He's in a lot of pain. Oh boy. Yeah.
It was a bad one.
Yeah, it really is. Eric Foster's leg got twisted in a very bad way, and they're going to get the cart and the complete medical staff out there to help him.
The players knew it immediately.
Yeah, they did. They got twisted in just an absolute awful direction. Maybe a hard to look at one, I should say. Eric Foster trapped underneath. Ugly looking injury, and timeout here in Tampa. Back here in Tampa, and Eric Foster, the fourth-year player out of Rutgers, who's starting because of Fili Moala's injury. Just a gruesome injury as his leg got trapped under Tyler Brayton, another pass rusher, and you can see how emotionally Indianapolis guys are. If you're squeamish, don't look at this one, folks. This is trapped underneath. His foot gets turned sideways. His leg gets trapped under there right away. And immediately, players from both sides were calling over to the Indianapolis sideline for the medical personnel to come out.
And Bill Polian, Jim Caldwell, they have to wonder just how much can we take from an injury standpoint. Already missing your 2 defensive captains, Melvin Bullitt, Gary Brackett, both put on IR. Peyton Manning. And now Foster.
Just feel snake bitten, you know, as a team. You just feel, what do you have to do?
And you see members of the Buccaneers medical staff out there as well, trying to be able to do as much as they can for the Colts medical staff to get Foster beyond X-ray to the hospital and check out whatever they can for the player. There's Jim Caldwell, the head coach, out there to look at Foster, who's a 2-time captain at Rutgers. Remember when the Colts were having all their problems with healthy defensive linemen. Foster came in and played as a rookie in 2008 and started 11 games in that rookie season, played a couple of years after that. So he's been with Freeney, Mathis, and the other guys on this defensive group for quite some time, and obviously the offensive guys as well. And that is a rare bit of emotion that you see from players here after something like that happens, especially Brayton, who was the player who was over there and Foster got trapped under.
Oh, these guys have so much invested in their professions. They've worked so hard. Eric Foster in particular made it the hard way up, made it into the rotation, into the lineup. And when you're one of his teammates, you know that, and you just can't bear to see all that progress come to a screeching halt with an injury like that.
Hey, John, I forget, Jaws, I forget where we were last week or 2 weeks ago. We were talking with someone about, you know, situations like this, and it's an injured player, it's IR, the guy's out for the year, and you just kind of move on to the next player, but you forget the individual, and you said just all the hours a guy puts in. And that's why you see punters and offensive players and players in the Buccaneers. We often use the cliche of the fraternity of the league, and it is
next
one
man up and next starter, but there's a personal side to it.
Yeah, it is one league of players who are you know, understand what happens when things like this happen, especially something like that.
Yeah, you have to think about the personal investment that all these players put into this. They make the football team, they get in the game, they realize they're green, and you never know in this game, as you well know, Ron. You just hope it's not more serious than it looks.
Well, you saw all the players from both sides react, and you know, every time you see that and players from both sides waving over to the sideline, you just remember what happened to our former colleague Joe Theismann on a Monday night when Lawrence Taylor snapped his leg. And you see Foster there.
And then you have to get back to the game, Mike. You know, if you're an Indianapolis Colt, you have to regroup somehow, some way. They need to make a call, and they need to figure out how to get off the field. But this takes the life and breath out of you.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's leadership there. But the one thing that stands out, the NFL has done a terrific job in immediate response to these injuries, and doctors and medical staffs on the sideline. Eric Foster at that.
Like you guys were saying, then you go on in the middle of a 2-minute drive. Colts have a timeout taken away because of the injury while the clock was running. So 50 seconds left. Ernest Graham tackled by Pat Angerer at the 41-yard line.
Third time Freeman's checked it down. This is a loose zone coverage that the Colts repeat the play.
Another flag thrown back at the line.
Offside. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Repeats first down.
We got Freeney on that one. Now the game clock should reset on that with an offside on that 1st and 5. There you go, back to 46.
Now, if you're Josh Freeman, what you have to be thinking now, let's get this ball in field goal range first. Then you want to take your shots after that. The Buccaneers have 2 timeouts left, 46 seconds to go. Thinking of getting this ball down around the 35-yard line. Then you can take your shot to the end zones.
Connor Barth, 49 yards. He's long this season, 54 his career. But Jaws, you were on the field before the game. Barth was...
He was struggling.
Yeah, he was hitting it like a driver all over the map. Freeman's pass is caught by Preston Parker inside the 35 into the 31 in that field goal range. Still with 2 timeouts. And Tampa takes one of them here with 39 seconds to go.
Very good pass protection by these Buck tackles. Trueblood and Penn have done a nice job in this 2-minute drive of protecting Freeman, who's used a lot of quick drops, and he's been on time and accurate.
Chris Berman coming along here once we get to halftime with the Toyota halftime show. Chris will have the fastest 3 minutes to talk about the last 2 of the unbeatens, both atop the NFC North. Aaron Rodgers, who had that great historical statistical day for the Packers, and an interview with Jim Schwartz of the 4-0 Detroit Lions. They become the first team to come back from 20 down back-to-back weeks and win. We'll see Schwartz and the Lions against Chicago 1 week from tonight in downtown Detroit.
Very excited, Mike. Heading to Detroit. Been a long time. That place will be all lathered up. The Lions on Monday Night Football.
Freeman 4-5 on the drop. It's Ernest Graham again. First down again. Side of 21. Timeout in their pocket. Going to spike it and kill it with 28 seconds left. You know, John, when we ask everybody about Josh Freeman, we're trying to define his personality. How do we tell America about Josh Freeman? Everybody said cool, calm, under control, loves the end of the half, end of the game.
That's a great way to sum it up. I think the Indianapolis Colts need to mix up this coverage a little bit. They played 5 straight snaps of this soft 2-deep zone, and Tampa has just come right into field goal position, and it looks like the Colts are back in that split safety 2-deep look again.
Still Graham the back. Again, it's Graham inside. He's killing him on this drive to the 12-yard line.
And a lot of times the defense will counter that by dropping a defensive lineman out to cover that hole. But Freeman's taking advantage of it right now.
It's just a check down. If you have time to get that check down out in the route, you're going to complete it every time. Trueblood's done a nice job on Robert Mathis, but in fairness to Mathis, it's just 1, 2, 3 hits, throw the ball to Graham. Ernest Graham's the Buccaneers' leading receiver in the first month of the season because of all these zone coverages that the Buccaneers have seen from Minnesota, Detroit, now the Colts. And that kid right there, Ernest Graham's a heck of a receiver.
Now let's spin forward here, guys. The Bucs are out of timeouts. There's 20 seconds left. It's 3rd and 1. So what's the thinking here?
You're okay no matter where the ball is. Even if it's caught in play, you hustle up to the line and spike it. So every play in the playbook is now available to Josh Freeman. If he has to check it down, if nothing downfield, he can hustle that offense up and spike it.
You better be careful if you run the ball and don't make it.
A lot of time, John. 20 seconds.
Freeman flush, hit by Mathis and brought down with 15 seconds left. They got to run the field goal unit on. That's why we were talking about no timeouts. Teams practice this all the time. The field goal will be 37 yards. We're down to 5 seconds left. Bucs barely off the field. They were not off the field. This is going to be waved off for 12 on the field on Tampa. They snapped it as quick as possible, thinking that they could get it in before the gun, but they actually had another second or two, and the official on the Buccaneers sideline caught the player running off the field and didn't get off before the snap. At least that's what he called there. Let's see, he threw the flag on the sideline, which would be the only penalty he could call.
Well, if you run the ball or take a sack in that situation.
Offense, 12 men on the field at the snap. The field goal is no good. And that's the end of the first half.
So the Buccaneers had a golden opportunity, 3rd and 1. You cannot take a sack. Here's the end of the play, and the fire drill. Mathis comes in, gets the sack. Freeman knew what was going on.
That's the one thing, Mike, you're right. You can't take the sack there.
Well, you work on your desperation field goal team every week.
Right
but
there.
You need more time than that. It's a good call by the official, who made a lot of calls in the first half.
And right at the 40-yard line, Desmond Briscoe, one of the fastest players, comes off. Couldn't get off. Tampa gets the ball to start the second half. They trail by 3. Here's Chris, Toyota halftime show.
Tonight in Tampa, Josh Freeman stepped into the national spotlight, but Curtis Painter stayed cool under pressure. Will the Colts conquer, or will the Bucs break them down? The conflict continues on Monday Night Football.
Quarter 3 here in Tampa, Florida. A wild end to a sloppy first half. Indianapolis trying to get win 1. Leading Tampa 10-7 here on Monday Night Football. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Wendy Nix down on the sideline. Curtis Painter, first NFL start, first half. Your assessment?
Well, the first good thing, the Colts got a little running game going. So that took a little bit of pressure off Painter. But he did make some plays, particularly the long touchdown pass. And this play really showed the arm that Curtis Painter has. Get the ball quickly out of his hand to Dallas Clark in the flat. And to make this throw here, you have to have a strong arm. And he gets it to Pierre Garçon. That's the big play of the game right now for the Colts. And obviously, even Peyton Manning probably called that play. Very happy about the touchdown pass that Curtis Painter threw.
Peyton sitting up in the coach's box for the second week. First time he's come on the road. Painter has been his understudy for a couple of years. But Josh Freeman, his first half.
I think Freeman did some good things. Zone defense, going to be a lot of check downs. Here's a nice bootleg to his left. Stop and pop. That's hard to do. But a lot of this was just Freeman throwing the ball in rhythm quickly against zone coverage. That's a nice job using his eyes, and then back-to-back checkdowns to Ernest Graham in a 2-minute drill. But a couple critical mistakes, I think, in the red zone. You can't take a sack in the situation that he took one there at the end of the first half. He had a forced ball in the red zone. He was fortunate to get away with. Outstanding young quarterback, needs to clean up some of his play in the red zone. And really the second half has been Freeman's half. This is when he's been at his very best. He's traditionally been a slow starter. I'm anxious to see the adjustments they made.
Now the clock for the third quarter, you automatically, as soon as the half ends, the clock resets at 12 minutes for halftime. It started a few minutes later because that last field goal and the confusion of running guys on and off the field, Tampa not getting their 12th man off the field. Thus the field goal negated as you look at Preston Parker back deep to receive the second half kickoff. That is a reviewable play, the number of players on the field. So since it happened in the last 2 minutes, Ron Winter had to go to replay. They were delayed in doing that. They eventually got over there, looked at it, and confirmed that Tampa had too many men on the field, and the call was correct and the half ended. Touchback here, they'll start at the 20. Now, a lot of the folks from Tampa are upset because they think Indianapolis has 12 on. Here's Desmond Briscoe running off as the snap comes. There's a Colt player at the top running off as well. So the snap comes, and you'll see that the Colt player was leaping in the air. According to the league, a player who is taking that last step and then is leaping out of bounds is considered to have cleared the field, thus not considered to be a 12th guy on the field. Briscoe's foot was still in bounds, so that's why Tampa is deemed to have 12, Indianapolis 11, and the call on the field correct.
And we're back to football.
Well, rightfully so, a lot of the Buccaneers folks saw that and were questioning it during halftime, but there's the confirmation. Freeman first down throw, complete, 23 yards to Mike Williams.
It's a nice start to the second half, and the Colts secondary looks confused. Rookie Joe LaFedge, number 35. Number 36, you're going to see in here another rookie, Chris Rucker. They don't get lined up quickly. There's no pass rush, and Freeman's on the money. Colts are beat up everywhere, and the secondary continues to plague them.
And up front without Eric Foster, who had that ugly ankle injury in the first half. LeGarrette Blount with a run up the middle. Look at him keep his feet going. Pat Angerer can't bring him down. And Blount carries him for about 5 more yards.
Excuse me, Ron. I just don't see a lot like this from Peyton Hillis, Brandon Jacobs. We're looking for guys to compare him to, but this is a young man that's possessed.
Yeah, the Bucs were talking to us. They said they just wanted to run Blount inside. just run him to death, basically, because that's what he can do. Move the pile right there. They need to get him his touches.
180. Shot.
One off the right side, the power side of this Indianapolis offense. Antonio Johnson made the tackle. It's a first down for Tampa. Let's look at the stats from the first half. The one big play for Indy, the 87-yard Painter to Garcon touchdown, skewing the next line, the passing yards. Bucs got a lot of yardage on their touchdown drive as well. You see the average start. Field position's been good, but Tampa's had key mistakes. One erasing a touchdown, another erasing a long game. Tampa team penalized 7 times per game in their first 3, 9 in the first half. Freeman's pass is deflected, trying to get to Eric Lorig, his fullback, but Jamal Anderson got a hand up.
Yeah, good job by Jamal Anderson reading the eyes of Josh Freeman. You know, he's blocked, but you look at the quarterback's eyes as he's delivering, you get those arms up. You'll see right here, Anderson, number 90, looks back in the backfield, sees him set, knock the ball down. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback, this is what you got to do. Get the hands up, deflect the football.
4 years for the Falcons, pretty good athlete. In high school, he was a wide receiver and broke the records at that high school of Keith Jackson, the former Green Bay tight end. One right, stopped by Drake Nevis. You guys were watching LeGarrette Blount. You remember the first game Chip Kelly had as the Oregon coach a couple of years ago against Boise State, the loss and the punch on the field. And Blount was suspended for the good part of that season, but did come back to play the Oregon State game and then the Rose Bowl. He said that was important because a lot of people forgot about talk to him. He ended up going undrafted in part because of that. Went to Tennessee's camp, was waived. Bucs were thrilled to sign him. They did their due diligence, and he gave them a great payoff with 1,007 yards last year. 3rd and 9. Freeman, Winslow, no sir. Antoine Bethea throws him down. There's a penalty marker back at the quarterback.
Another flag.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
One of the reasons Tampa likes this snug formation with these wide receivers is they like to chip Freeney. Watch number 87, Preston Parker, chip Dwight Freeney before he goes out into his route. They do it on both sides, but that time Ron Winter catches the Bucs with their 10th penalty, Mike, on Jeremy Zuda. Costly.
21 their first 3 games, so it would have been 4th and 3 at the 37, right at the back end of the field goal range for Connor Barr. So they choose to take the flag and push him back and make it 3rd and 19. Here comes Freeney off the edge. Quickly, they get it to Lumpkin. And Craig Lumpkin stopped and short of the first down, but one more time. We have a flag on the play. Wow.
Offside. Defense number 93. Line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
It's twice for that on Freeney.
I've seen Dwight Freeney play for almost a decade. I've never seen him line up offsides. Twice in one game. Ron Winter's got to let up on us. He's calling a lot of penalties down there.
So again, Indy, by declining that holding penalty, it would have been Tampa's ball 4th and 3 at the plus 37, at the Colts 37. They back him up, but the Colts flag keeps them alive, now 3rd and 14. And underneath again, it's Mike Williams on the run, and he got a first down at the 31-yard line.
Well, Indianapolis is in an ultra prevent defense, and Freeman knows it. This is just a design, drop it off and get a block. Pat Angerer is lined up 16, 17 yards from the ball, and they're playing such a soft zone, the Buccaneers just drag a receiver across the formation, have a combine boy of blockers out front. It's too easy.
That's a great design by Greg Olsen. He knows how they're playing, anticipated the coverage, and had those blockers downfield.
Needed 14. They got 17. And Blunt lowers his shoulder for about 2.5.
On the carry.
Colts getting off the pile slower and slower. Nevis, second time he's come off the field slowly this drive.
I think it comes back with defensive coordinator Larry Coyer. All these zone coverages, it's the inexperience in the secondary. I don't know where Jacob Lacey is, but Chris Rucker's a rookie. LaFedge is a rookie. Injuries everywhere. Melvin Johnson's out.
Freeney in his face. Off the feet of Luke Stocker, the rookie out of Tennessee.
Well, Dwight Freeney off the ball is as quick as anyone in the NFL. He reads the quarterback. He reads the center. Here he comes flying off the ball. Clearly, Winslow's not going to block him. And boy, you want to be the quarterback with this guy bearing down on you? Good luck.
Freeman adjusts the play, 3rd and 7. And Freeman throwing incomplete. Parker looking back for a flag on Lacey, who's out there now, or Gerard Powers, and it does not come.
Well, that time Freeman, a little hand signal right there. Good idea. When it's double bump and run, have Mike Williams come down and pick the corner that's covering Preston Parker. They got away with it, but it's a nice job by those two veteran Colt defenders playing over the top and stopping that.
Going to be a 46-yard kick for Connor Barth. Hit the upright from the same distance earlier tonight. Right down Dale Mabry with that one. And we're all even. Colts scored the first 10. The Bucs respond. New game.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach. By Castrol Edge, now with titanium fluid strength technology. And NFLshop.com. Find the perfect gift for everyone at the official store of the NFL.
Been too long since we've had a Monday night in Tampa. We're glad to see you back here, John. You return inside Raymond James Stadium.
I miss those people. That was great days here.
Is that Cindy, your wife? That told that
No, it's not.
It sure was. No.
No, it's not.
Come on, man. That's what you say. Come on, man. Great place.
Michael Kanan kicks. Joe LaFedge to a knee. So we'll get Curtis Painter in the Colts offense for the first time here in the second half. All even, 10 apiece.
Curtis Painter to take charge on Monday Night Football.
Curtis Painter, Indiana guy, went to high school in Vincennes, a couple hours southwest of Indianapolis, then played his college ball at Purdue. Now quarterback in the Colts in the absence of Peyton Manning and Kerry Collins out tonight with a concussion. On the 20, there's Reggie Wayne into the clear. 18 first down yards for Reggie.
They've been running that route forever. An under route, Reggie Wayne pushes up, comes right underneath, ball thrown accurately. Here come the Colts.
Second catch on the night for Wayne. 8:03 on his career. The blocking right into Joseph Adai, who did a great job to spin out and gain 8.
Well, that was all Joseph Adai. There was great penetration by the Bucs defensive line. They had Adai pretty much in the backfield here, but boy, he makes that spin move to his left. Boy, all Joseph Adai on that run.
And Painter is trying to take control of the tempo. That time he snapped it quick.
Second and 2, right back to Adai. Keeps moving the legs close to a first down. Here's Wendy Nix.
Mike, I asked Jim Caldwell about his quarterback's first half. He said he thought Painter had made some decent throws and in general was managing the game well, but he also said we've clearly got to protect him better, and I want more from the running game because there's no sense asking this quarterback to do too much.
Wendy, you see as the measurements coming up here, that 87-yard touchdown pass to Pierre Garçon, longest first career touchdown pass for a player in the league since Charlie Batch did it with Detroit 13 years ago tomorrow. Just going to be short here. They'll bring up 3rd and inches. And one of the reasons they went out and got Kerry Collins was because they saw Painter make big-time mistakes in the preseason games.
They didn't trust him, Mike. It was really that simple, and that was the one thing, when we talked to the Colts, they all talked about. Is he going to make that disaster play, the bad decision, the bad throw that turns the game around? To this point, he hasn't made that mistake. He's got to continue to play the same way. Do not turn the football over with an interception.
Fullback in the game, Gronkowski. I'd be shocked if they didn't slam this ball off their right side.
Sometimes you take your shots, John, in these short yardage plays, and the Colts are going to need a spark.
DeLon Carter is the running back. They fake it to the rookie. Clark tripped on the way out and nearly intercepted going for Reggie Wayne. Dallas Clark was trying to get off the line there, and he got caught in the wash. And the passer Wayne broken up by Aqib Talib.
Well, it's the length of the football. They go with play action pass. They fool Bennett, number 71, but they lost their quick receiver, and they're lucky that wasn't intercepted.
This is great coverage by Aqib Talib. He is right in the hip pocket, and Reggie Wayne runs the route for him.
Talib has got a couple of pick sixes in his career, 16 interceptions. Really looking at another one there. Movement. Flag. Trying to get the Bucs to jump. The Colts did.
False start. Offense number 57. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
It just shows you how much lack of confidence the Colts have in their running game. 3rd and a foot, throw it, 4th down. You're not going to go for it near midfield. And they're in transition. They're just trying to get into some 2-back sets, but great stop by the Bucs.
Pat McAfee on. Weston Parker at the 18, brought down 22-yard line by Stevie Brown out of Michigan. 8-14. Bucs have rallied from down 10. Try to take the lead when you come back. Well, the 2009 quarterback class. Matthew Stafford taken at the top as the Lions undefeated. He's trying to stay healthy and turn their fortunes around. Mark Sanchez, the Jets traded up to get him, and he's taken New York to 2 AFC Championship games. And then Josh Freeman. We mentioned earlier the Buccaneers moved up to get him at number 17 overall. Debuted in 2009 mid-year. Actually beat Green Bay in his opening start. Threw 10 touchdowns as a rookie. Has kept his interception number, especially in that full year last year, low, and not made the big mistakes.
Yeah, he's a very good decision maker, and I think that's what you look for in any young quarterback. Try not to force those throws. Freeman's very judicious with the football.
His team was down 10. They've tied it at 10. About midway through the 3rd. Trying to get to 3-1. Garrett Blunt tried to hop out and get to the outside. Philip Wheeler with the tackle. John, when you look at young quarterbacks, what are the things that Freeman does that gives you the belief that this can be a decade-long quarterback here in Tampa?
Well, I just think it's his preparation. He's made such great progress. He can find his 2nd and 3rd receiver. You see him getting involved in the audible game. The problem with the Buccaneers is they don't want to unleash Freeman because they have young receivers, young offensive skill players that aren't quite ready for it.
Play action, Freeney coming around the edge, pressure up the middle. The pass incomplete for Blunt. Tyler Brayton was the push in the pocket.
This Colts defense is all about getting you in those passing situations. 2nd and long, the defense knows you're going to throw the football. They unleash the fury of their defensive line. They can get after the quarterback better than anyone in this league.
Colts need to get off the field to give their offense some field position.
Ernest Graham, that security blanket. Third down back, in for Freeman. He's wrapped up, throws, incomplete. He's trying to loft it to Preston Parker as Robert Mathis was bringing him down.
These two guys are unbelievable. Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, they just take turns. Watch his speed off the corner. Watch how low he can get on that spin move. And I tell you what, this factor grade of Robert Mathis, how many times he's almost gotten there, that's amazing. The production that they've had from these two defensive ends for years.
Michael Kanan's been grading hang time on his kicks. Not that one. More returnable, 37 yards. Blair White takes it only for 3 as Eric Lorig was over there on special teams to make the stop. Good field position for the Colts. What John say? Defense needed to step up, get you a 3 and out. Mathis off the defensive end helped do that. Oh, next Monday night, do something we haven't done for a decade. Take Monday Night Football to Detroit, and what do you know? The Lions are 4-0. The Bears, Matt Forte, over 200 rushing yards for Chicago yesterday against Carolina. So the Bears and the Lions, good old NFC North matchup. Monday Night Countdown starts at 7. We kick it off 8:30 Eastern. You see John and Ron, 79, Ben Ajalana, the left tackle. He's in there for Anthony Costanzo. Costanzo injured early. The Colts say he's questionable to return. We keep checking with them on that. But they're going to, he has not been on the sideline here, and he's likely out for the rest of the game. As Pierre Garçon takes off. Past Rondé Barber, got a downfield block from Reggie Wayne, and has his second long touchdown of the night.
Boy, Reggie Wayne. Great play selection. Clyde Christensen, the offensive coordinator, said, I have to creatively get Pierre Garçon back in our offense. That time a beautiful shotgun play action quick screen, and he gets an assist from Reggie Wayne on a block from the far side of the field. Just a quick screen on the outside. Nice job by Lincoln Bach. Pollock's downfield. Good open field running by Garçon, and Reggie Wayne comes from nowhere and cleans up bodies. Great execution by the Indianapolis Colts.
Tremendous downfield blocking by several Colts. A 59-yard score. Fans are unhappy as they watch the replay there.
Reggie Wayne launched himself across the field. What an effort by the veteran receiver.
Garçon, 87 and 59-yard touchdowns tonight. It's an Indianapolis offense that has struggled to find the end zone this year. But Pierre Garçon, who only had 149 receiving yards in the first 3 games, 146 here tonight, a career high, and 2 Curtis Painter touchdowns. That one was really a team effort. Offensive linemen, wide receivers, downfield blocking, quite a play.
Well, that's what you got to do. Reggie Wayne even down the field making a huge block.
So the Colts are on top by 7. And no return for Preston Parker.
Yeah, when you're a football team, you need to get people hustling. And this is what the Colts are doing. Watch Dallas Clark picks off Rondé Barber. Now Pierre Garçon looking backside. Reggie Wayne coming all the way across the field, selling out to make this block, giving up his own body. Pierre Garçon now a nose for the end zone. Austin Collie escorts him in.
And the fans on the replay reacted to that block that Clark threw as he blocked in the side there, trying to get the officials to call a block in the back penalty. LeGarrette Blount to the left. He and Pat Angerer with one of their many collisions on the night. He's taken forward for a 7-yard gain.
Pat Angerer all over the field, John.
Tampa Bay's had great success running the ball on first down. There's another big chunk, 7 yards, but just watch the authority of LeGarrette Blount after contact. You have to gang tackle this man, or he's going to make a lot of yardage after contact.
And Angerer is listed at 6 feet 235, but he's smaller than 6 feet. And Blunt's been carrying him a little bit farther as these snaps go on. Mike Williams True blood. The tackle came out, tried to get him a block. He couldn't, but Williams got enough to get to the 30, and that's a first down.
The Bucs come back with a similar play that the Colts just scored on. Get that ball out on the edge of the defense on the perimeter. Try to get in your hands a wide receiver and let him make a play. But good hustle. That's one thing that jumps out about this Colts defense, their speed.
Freeney on the sideline. Robert Mathis in. Blunt left, trying to get behind his blockers. This is like 5, 6, 7 yards, all these first down runs.
Well, LeGarrette Blunt comes in the game. He has a couple friends. He has fullback Eric Lorg, a former defensive end, and he has a blocking tight end, Stocker, a rookie out of Tennessee, number 83. And they love running the football, and they're committed to it. 1st and 10, their rushing attack has been very impressive tonight.
Freeman loading up, finding the soft spot in the zone. Mike Williams, incomplete. Could not hang on to that one. In between Powers and Caldwell in the Colts secondary.
Well, you try to throw the ball over a rolled up corner and under a converging deep safety. That's the old distraction drill, Jaws.
Well, you got him up that catch. I mean, Mike Williams may have been tipped, may have been flinching a little bit, but that's a ball that hits you right in the belly. You got to come up with that one.
Would you distract receivers so they could just see the ball at the very end?
That's right.
You do that drill?
Yep.
Did it work?
Sometimes.
3rd and 4. Freeney twisting inside is picked up. Freeman kept it alive long enough for Preston Parker. First down at the 44. 20 on the game.
Josh Freeman does. Colts threaten a double A gap blitz. They're trying to get everybody's attention in here to get a single for Freeney and Mathis. Protection holds up wonderfully against the stunt. Freeman does a great job of not panicking when he's under duress. He keeps his eyes downfield, and he can throw a rope.
Did you guys see Preston Parker as he got over the middle? Me! Jump me, I'm open! Find me! Freeman chased down and finally brought down. It was Jerry Hughes. And here comes, let's see, fans get a flag on the far side as Jeff Fain, the center, and Jamal Anderson kept going. Meantime, we have conversation here with Hughes, the first-round pick who's been very non-impactful for the Colts. In 2 separate places we had incidents going on, and the flag was not thrown here but thrown on the far side.
Well, Jamal Anderson, I think, committed a personal foul, an inexcusable one, way after the whistle.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90 defense. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
You got to control your emotions in a 17-10 game. Tempers flare, but Jamal Anderson clearly late and after the whistle really hurts the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, they had the Bucs in a 2nd and 17 situation. Now it's 1st and 10. Self-inflicted wounds by the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, that was well away. There was a scrum going on with Hughes where the sack was made. Hughes, a first-round pick last year, who did not have a sack in his rookie season. Had that one there, but on the opposite side, Anderson kept going. They called for the flag. There's a catch for Winslow. Worked down by Camille Connor and Philip Wheeler.
So if you're sitting at home, you see what's happening in his game. Pat Angerer is retreating right down the middle in this Tampa 2 coverage, and all the Buccaneers are doing is throwing the ball to Winslow or Ernest Graham right in front of that linebacker. Colts need another coverage besides Tampa 2.
Drop a line out.
That time they stopped Blunt. Angerer, who was credited with 20 tackles last week against Pittsburgh, is around the ball about as much here tonight, and every play is bringing us whistles and pulling the guys away from the pile. It's getting very, very chippy.
This is where the Colts have really struggled this year on third down defense. Last in the league coming in here tonight. And it's critical that they get off right here, try to maintain a lead.
Colts scored in their last possession to take a 7-point lead. Second touchdown for Pierre Garçon. Here Tampa trying to drive down the field for the tying score. And we hit a timeout with 2.5 to go. Buccaneers going to face a 3rd and 5. Well, the Colts with Curtis Painter getting his first NFL start need to get the heat from Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis. The two guys have been doing it together for 9 years. Great impact guys. Let's talk about NFL teammates who've had at least 10 sacks each in at least 3 seasons. Reggie White and Clyde Simmons doing it late 80s, early 90s. The Steeler trio has it going right now with Harrison and Woodley. But these guys have done it 4 times. Freeney and Mathis, including last year in 2010. We've seen them spotted at times, jaws coming off the field, but when out there together, they have such an impact. They change every part of your offensive plan.
They change everything that you do. As a quarterback, you come out of the huddle, you try to figure out what they're going to do. You know, for the most part, where they are. They're coming off the edge. But you have to do things as an offensive coordinator to slow them down, chip them, a tight end, a fullback. Someone do not allow them to get that running start. Boy, they make a huge impact on every down there on the field.
Up the gut pressure right here.
3rd and 5. Colts bring pressure. It's a run with Ernest Graham, yard shy of the first down. So they're 4th and 1 at the 24. From here, a field goal is 41 yards, and let's see what they'll do.
They're going to go for it. I see Eric Lord, their fullback, coming into the game. Josh Johnson checking in.
Josh Johnson is their backup quarterback who has run some wildcat plays, especially last year.
Yes, he has. He's the fastest Buccaneer, I think, on their offensive football team. Look for anything here. Could be an option or just a straight give to the big back off that right side.
So Freeman off the field. Josh Johnson comes in to take the snap on 4th and 1. And they run option with Blunt, and Johnson keeps it for the first down at the 16-yard line.
Well, that's a great play that they practice. Josh Johnson hasn't seen as much wildcat because they only have 2 active quarterbacks, but they're going to start flow this way, and Josh Johnson's going to come around to the right side with LeGarrette Blunt pivoting and coming with them. Excellent call in short yardage. And they have the perfect quarterback to execute this play. They just haven't gotten to this phase of their offense because they're not carrying 3 quarterbacks, Mike.
So many teams in the league, about half the league's teams bringing just 2 quarterbacks to the party, and you get your main guy hurt, you have a nightmare. Freeman first down, end zone, too tall for Winslow. Met in the air by Bethea.
This is an area of the field where Josh Freeman has struggled. Good play call. You had Winslow up the seam. You got to put this one on the body. There's a seam there to hit it. There's Freeman right there. You'll see Winslow come into the screen. The ball's just up a little high. That's one you got to keep it low so Winslow can protect himself. Stick that throw in there. Had a touchdown.
Second and 10, end around. Here comes Aurelius Ben. Waiting for him, David Caldwell. Ben wanted a face mask, not getting it. So Caldwell, who dropped an interception in the end zone in the first half, on his mark there.
That's a great play in the open field by David Caldwell on a reverse. This play has a chance to go for a long ways. Nice open field tackle, breaking down, keeping your feet alive, and running right through that red jersey. Excellent play by the young safety.
3rd and 7 Buccaneers. Play 13 on the drive. They just converted 4th down a moment ago. Mathis off the edge, doesn't get there. Preston Parker gets there. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Great protection. Nice job by Freeman stepping up, and Preston Parker comes across the formation on a shallow cross. Ball's thrown perfectly. It allows Parker to rally after the catch. Once again, third down defense, the Achilles heel of the 2011 Indianapolis Colts.
Greg Olsen anticipated the man-to-man coverage, had the right play dialed up. The Colts changed up. They've been playing a lot of zone. Olsen anticipated. You get the touchdown for the Bucs. That's what play callers do. They anticipate what the defense will do.
That whistle you heard in the background means the touchdown was confirmed by the replay booth. Connor Barth. All even at 17. The Bucs were down 10 and came back. They were down 7. That's the second time there's been an Indianapolis score, and Tampa Bay has responded with one of their own. When you score and answer a score with one of your own, that's what championship teams are made of. There's one championship in Tampa history, Super Bowl 37. John and the Buccaneers had that great day in San Diego to beat Oakland, his old team. Super Bowl, baby! Bam, bam, bam! Yeah. I watched John. He was getting ready for airtime. He takes the trophy and he elbowed me right out of the platform there.
It's all about John, Mike.
2000,
that was great.
2002 world champs, and it is remembered with great pride and love around here.
Beautiful. Yeah, those are great days, man.
And when you go into the Bucs training facility, one Buck place, they've done a great job, as nice a job celebrating a championship jaws as any of the teams around the league.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was very, very exciting to walk into one Buck place and see my man right there, John Gruden. Well, I tell you, that's what he's all about. Getting his team motivated, his football team, his broadcast team. Good to have the big guy.
Great place down here, and the Buccaneers are right where they usually are, right in the thick of things here in the fourth quarter.
A tight game, all even at 17. Joe LaFedge to return. And he's brought down at the 23-yard line by Zach Dials as we have 9 seconds left in the quarter. Game tied at 17 on that Preston Parker score, his first NFL touchdown.
This Colt offense should be well rested. They've had 33 offensive snaps tonight, Mike, as opposed to 61 for the Buccaneer offense. Need to mount a drive, positive yardage here on early downs. That's been the key for the Colts when they've had success tonight.
This is like a Peyton Manning Colts era game. They've only had the ball 15 of the first 45 minutes. Trying to get it back to a dive. Couldn't get it. Coming back on the pass from Painter. 5 seconds left in the third.
They had that screen set up nice. That time they faked the quick screen to the wide side of the field. They looked for a dive into the short side on a slow screen. Play had chance. Had chances.
Just from a tempo, a philosophy, a scheme standpoint, the Colts have looked much more like the Colts we got used to for the last decade tonight. And Painter's been okay for his first NFL start. Whole bunch of Bucs showing they're going to go. Painter's going to adjust the play. Got it off in time. They couldn't hit Reggie Wayne on the slant. They went after E.J. Biggers, the nickel corner.
Well, I like the fact that Painter at the line of scrimmage saw what the Bucs were going to do. They were going to bring the blitz. They were going to bring the heat. He went protection first. Made an inaccurate throw, but I think he had him in the right protection.
And watch for number 56, Dakota Watson, the young defensive end slash linebacker of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He turned the Falcons upside down last week with some magnificent rushes.
It's become vogue now, the 4-point stance, like Usain Bolt off the edge. Painter got away from the rush. His throw for Collie right down by the ground. Ruled a catch. Ruled a catch. Now coming in way from the back is another official to have a conversation with the one who said catch. We look at the replay and they confirm, they say catch on the field. So the call on the field's a catch. And Collie got it. Wow. What a catch by Austin Collie. It was impossible to catch, but he's able to bring it in. His 9th catch of the year, first tonight. Off we go to the fourth quarter. All even at 17. Off we go to the fourth quarter in Tampa. 0-3 Colts, 2-1 Bucs. All even at 17. First down after the Austin Collie catch. DeLone Carter is the back. And the rookie Carter spins and turns and gets a half dozen out to the 40.
Going back to that, excuse me, Mike, going back to that Austin Collie catch on third down. Collie came in here with just 8 catches for 53 yards. Had a lot of injuries. We know about the concussions last year. But if they can get Collie back alive, making plays in the slot, that'll really help this offense.
Painter with a pump and a shot downfield as Garcon was working on Talib. And the pass incomplete.
I know it's incomplete, but I like the shot. When you get that one-on-one, you got Garcon who can fly down the field. You get the matchup you like. See if you can get the explosive play. Here it is. Talib on Garcon. He takes that outside adjustment just to the last second. Kind of threw the throw off of Curtis Painter. But be aggressive.
No back set. First time tonight.
It's the 4-man rush. Painter's pass is incomplete. Flag deep in the secondary. Very deep in the secondary. Flag is thrown.
And you see Dallas Clark working on an outside break against Rondé Barber.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. Penalized at the spot of the foul. And a first down.
Looks like the Buccaneers are playing too deep over the top, man-to-man underneath. Clark one-on-one. Let's take a look.
The official called it was back 30 yards. All he saw was the little pull of the jersey.
Oh, you can't
Didn't
call
see
that.
that Clark stumble first. And it was not a flag. Reese has picked up as we've gone into this fourth quarter. Clark comes next to Carter, the rookie back. Painter hit, goes down. Second time Michael Bennett's gotten home.
One of the few times this evening that Curtis Painter in the pocket held and onto the football. You'll see the rush coming to the right of Curtis Painter. Now he's going to set up. Get rid of it. Now he's waiting downfield, and Bennett gets to him. One of the few times tonight, Painter's not gotten the ball out of his hand in rhythm.
Bennett, 2 sacks in his career coming into tonight. 2 tonight. Painter finds Clark. Clark gets away. Dallas Clark to the 41-yard line. 19 first down yards.
Well, that time they pick up the blitz. Rondé Barber, playing like a linebacker, comes right up the A gap. Colts do a nice job picking it up. They find a one-on-one. That's a great throw by Painter. Protection wasn't flush, wasn't clean. Dallas Clark gets a lot done after the catch. Big first down.
Got a rookie second-round pick who was not in the lineup at left tackle. A rookie running back in Carter picking up the pressure for Painter this drive. Now Carter running, nowhere to go, so he stretches it for a yard. Joe Reitz is in his first year. He's playing left guard. He was a basketball player at Western Michigan and went out to kind of be one of those basketball guys who transitioned to a football player. Thought he'd be a tight end. Turned him into an offensive lineman. So a lot of inexperienced guys out there for Indianapolis in a big spot. Yeah. Painter nearly intercepted right to the hands of Biggers as Painter and Wayne were not on the same page.
Not quite sure what route Reggie Wayne is running. There's some confusion. They're lucky it wasn't intercepted. Biggers does a nice job playing man-to-man coverage. Ball could have been intercepted, but clearly Painter and Wayne are not on the same page. And Reggie's been awful quiet, Jaws, as a pass receiver. This young E.J. Biggers has done a nice job rising to the occasion on Monday Night Football.
3rd and 9. Painter for Wayne. Reggie. 2 knees. Caught it. Inbounds. 1st down. Here's some noise from Reggie Wayne.
I spoke
Same
too
page
soon that time, John. That's right. What a throw by Curtis Painter. And you got the one-on-one right here. Good release by Reggie Wayne. But look at the location of this throw. The only place that Curtis Painter could put it.
Challenge, let's see. Raheem Morris ran down the sideline to try to challenge that for a timeout. He calls for timeout instead. Timeout, Tampa. Raheem was chasing down the official on his near side to try to get the timeout. That was a clean catch by Wade.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network, Toyota, and Bank of America.
Down at Raymond James Stadium, that's hosted a couple of Super Bowls, and our aerial coverage tonight is brought to you by DirecTV. Indianapolis driving for a go-ahead score. All even at 17. No challenge as Raheem Morris ran down to get the official's attention just to get his defense set in a timeout. Painter wrapped up, brought down, a sack for Gerald McCoy.
That's what they need from Gerald McCoy. Inside pass rush present. And you're going to see number 93, McCoy, coming at the bottom of your screen. He just beat Wrights with ease. That's an impressive sack by Gerald McCoy.
And guys, on that play, Ben Ijalana, the 2nd-round pick out of Villanova, went down with an injury. He was in for Anthony Costanzo, the 1st-round pick. They went with tackles for their first 2 picks. That leaves them down to only one other offensive lineman to play tackle. That's Mike Tepper, who was promoted from the practice squad earlier today. Injury timeout. So Anthony Costanzo, 1st-round pick, hurt earlier. His replacement, 2nd-round pick, Ben Ijalana, hurt earlier. Welcome to Mike Tepper, up from the practice squad today. Number 67, playing right tackle. Out of Cal. 2nd and 16. And Painter off the hands of Garcon, incomplete. Keep Talib in coverage. Go back to show you Ijalana's injury. Just planting there with all that weight coming down as he was trying to keep Adrian Claiborne out of the backfield. 2 guys from this draft class going head-to-head there.
And Curtis Painter has to be very careful here not to force one in these long yardage, red zone situations. You are in field goal range. It's like the Bucs are going to blitz again.
Let's throw a quick go or hand it off.
He's going to take a shot.
Yep.
Dallas Clark's telling the new guy what to do at tackle. Painter taking that shot for Colley, and the pass is incomplete. So a field goal attempt of 42 or 43 yards from Vinatieri coming up.
That was an impressive audible, Jaws. Painter saw double bump and run coverage in the slot, and he watched Reggie Wayne, the outside receiver, try to brush off Rondé Barber. I like what Painter's done. He's recognized looks, he's changed protections, he's changed patterns, and he's put Vinatieri in a position to give Colts the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Good from 45, from 43 for the lead. High snap brought down late, missed left. The snap was high. McAfee fumbled it as he tried to recover and bring it down through the top. National Football League Breast Cancer Awareness throughout the month of October. All the pink being worn by players, gloves, shoes, wristbands, replacing the eye black. Last year, NFL raised more than $1 million for the cause. Learn more at NFL.com/pink. Screening over age 40. So important. So many female fans of the NFL or the important female in your life. Encourage them to get it done. All even at 17 after the missed field goal. Bucs start the drive from the spot of the miss. Over the middle, here comes Blunt. LeGarrette on the catch, 5 yards. We have another penalty marker on the field.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's on Davin Joseph, the guard, and any interior push is going to be something for Indianapolis. Indianapolis is down to about one healthy defensive lineman. Eric Foster, gruesome injury earlier on with his ankle. He was taken to a local hospital. He will stay overnight. Drake Nevis has some back problems. Antonio Johnson is truly the only healthy defensive tackle that the Colts have right now. First and 20, Freeman. Freeney flushes it. Blunt for 7. You said it, John. It's another flag in the backfield. And the Bucs already have 11 on them tonight. 6 on the Colts. Looks like this one's going. Let's see. The Bucs
Personal
clapping.
foul. Grasping the face mask. Offense number 82. Penalized half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
They're going to get that one every time.
Wow. Back-to-back major infractions. Look for a draw play here.
Great call, John.
He's thinking what you're thinking.
And Jamal Anderson playing inside of the defensive tackle spot because of all the injuries. First and 31, draw, Blunt. I guess the Colts have seen that one too.
You know, Robert Mathis, say what you want about sacks and strips and all that. Watch Robert Mathis against Jeremy Trueblood. He starts up the field in a pass rush mode. He sees draw, and he chases, and he gets there. They like to say, we hunt in Indianapolis, and that dog can hunt right there. He did a great job retracing his steps and making that play.
Second and a third of the field. Craig Lumpkin only gets 5. Cavell Connor comes over to finish it off.
There has been a lot of collisions tonight. You know, you watch this Colts linebacking core. They fly to the football. Every time there's been contact, you hear it up here in the booth.
Look at this young Pat Angler just taking more and more responsibility with this Colt organization. He has been all over the football field. Watch how deep he plays on this drop as he reads Freeman. He's going to be 15 to 18 yards deep before the ball snap.
So they throw underneath, try to get downfield blocking. Preston Parker stopped at the 28-yard line. And guys, that is such a big 3-and-out series for Indianapolis with their defense worn down with personnel, been on the field for a while. They get off the field with 9:22 to go.
Absolutely huge. And certainly they were the beneficiary of a couple penalties on the Bucs, but they did their job, and they can get back to the sideline and get some oxygen and get some Gatorade.
Last punt wasn't a good one. The others were for Canaan. Directional kick. 48 yards, and Pat White just pushed it out of bounds. Blair White, I should say, over at the 23-yard line. A couple of big penalties on Tampa Bay erased any momentum on that drive. Colts have it back in the tie game.
What's up, Stuart Scott with you. Coming up after the game, Sports Center, the GMC postgame report. Highlights and analysis of the Bucs and the Colts, plus baseball playoffs in full throttle. Both American League playoff games are tight and tense. All the highlights coming up on Sports Center.
All right, Stuart, not a good start for the Tampa Bay Great Sports Day. But 22 miles from here over in St. Pete, the Rays lost earlier. Texas Rangers 2-1 lead in that series. All tied at 17 here. Colts looking for the first win of the 2011 season. From the 24, Joseph Adai took a peek out to the right. Gets about a yard. Michael Bennett, Mason Foster tackle.
You know, if you look into that Colt huddle, And you see right tackle Tepper. Mike Tepper just got here from California off the practice squad. Joe Wrights, he's a guard playing with a sore ankle, undrafted, didn't even play college football at Western Michigan. Jeff Lincoln back at left tackle, undrafted out of Cincinnati. What an incredible amount of inexperience playing with a young quarterback.
False start on the right side. There's been Mike Pollock.
False start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
7th on Indy. 12 penalties Tampa tonight.
Well, the one thing that Curtis Painter has been able to avoid tonight has been that disaster play. But if they put him in these long-yarded, known passing situations, it could spell trouble. He's had a difficult time against the blitz. He's only completed 1 of 9 passes when the Bucs have brought the heat.
Gonna have to hurry. Closing in on 10 seconds.
The umpire was walking up toward the ball where it was spotted. Did not repump the play clock. Still runs. Painter in trouble. Adrian Claiborne and Michael Bennett bring him down.
That is Adrian Claiborne right there, the rookie out of Iowa. Studying him coming out of the draft, I called him light switch, Jaws, because he can go from 0 to 80 in a hurry. Look at this movement in this young man's body. He had 11 sacks, 20 tackles for loss as a junior. Not as productive as a senior. Fell to number 20 in the draft, and aren't the Bucs happy?
3rd and 22. Quick stuff. Reggie Wayne downfield blocking. Can't get there. So each team exchanges the 3 and out as we come past the halfway point of this 4th quarter. Pat McAfee kicks to Preston Parker. Very high, not deep. Parker fair catch signal, 38-yard kick. No return. Bucs take over at the 39-yard line. You know, guys, when everybody talks about the quarterback, Josh Freeman, they say, you know, he's won 15 games, 8 of them are comeback wins. And he says, you know what you have to do? You have to play well for 3, maybe 3.5 quarters. But in the 4th quarter, at the end, you got to find a way to be a hero. And he's found a way to do that first part of his career.
You know, and I'm not surprised because when you're around Josh Freeman, he has a very calm demeanor. The situation is never too big for him. And there are certain players, quarterbacks in particular, that love to have the game on their shoulders. Josh Freeman is one of those guys.
1st and 10 at the 40.
This drive starts from the 40. That's LeGarrette Blount. Got through the hole on the right. That's where the best linemen are. 10-yard first down.
Power. It's the first play, your 9-on-7 script every day. It's the 4th play, and it's your 12th play. And you always run it right behind these 2 offensive linemen, Trueblood and Joseph. That's a very physical. I love watching plays like that. I know you like all those bubble screens and 300.
That's right. That's right.
I
John.
love to see big bodies bang.
Blount taking his toll as the game goes on. Right back to him. That's about 3.
And if you look out on the Indianapolis Colts side, there's a lot of pride out there on that side of the ball. Dwight Freeney, Mathis, these players have been in championship games. They've been in double-digit win columns for the last decade. Believe me, they do not want to fly home tonight 0-4.
Reggie Wayne said, looking forward to that trip home with the noise on the plane. Got to win, not that awful silence of a loss. 2nd and 7. Freeney flushes Freeman, who takes off. Stuck the ball out over the line, gets the mark near the 40. I'll have to check the spot.
And Dwight Freeney can't believe he didn't get a holding call here. He thought he edged Jeremy Trueblood. See if he got held yourself.
Well, you can see it right there. You make the call. This one wasn't called.
Probably tired of throwing that flag.
3rd and 1.
Greeny's out of the game right now. Mathis reloads on the opposite side.
Shy of a first down, so it's 3rd and very short. Jerry Hughes is the other defensive end as this team is decimated with injuries on the line. And a whistle, and it looks like the Bucs move.
Delay a game.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
So we'll have 3rd and 5. We welcome those of you who watch the Detroit Tigers beat the Yankees 5-4 to take a 2-1 lead in the American League Division Series. The Buccaneers and the Colts all even at 17. This young Tampa team with the youngest head coach in the league, 35-year-old Raheem Morris. First national stage for this team that won 10 games last year. Trying to find a way to get to 3-1. The Colts desperate for their first win of the year. And the Josh Freeman quarterback, 3rd down, run for a first down.
That's what Freeman does. He came into this game 14 straight games. He has rushed for 1 or more first downs. Make it 15. Look at Freeman. There's nobody open. I don't have to just get this first down. I got to sell out to get it. And 6'6", 265 pounds. Late in football games, this is a clutch performer. What an effort by the young quarterback.
Jamal Anderson couldn't hang on. This Colt defensive line decimated by injuries. Been on the field a lot tonight. LeGarrette Blount, the big back, to the 35-yard line, moving close to field goal range. Each team has missed a field goal here tonight.
And this is LeGarrette Blount time. Think back to last week against the Atlanta Falcons. A game on the line. They just gave it to Blount to ice that game. Now they need Blount to move the chains, inch this ball closer for a field goal attempt to win the game. I think you'll see a lot of number 27 from here on out.
We used to give the ball to Mike Allstott, a former Buccaneer great. This is a blunt object, though. That's a good name for this guy. He is a blunt object flying through these holes.
3.5 minutes left. Colts have all 3 timeouts left. Blount to the right, patiently waiting. LeGarrette Blount inside the 10, inside the 5.
Buccaneer fans need to get a ticket to come and watch LeGarrette Blount.
We have no signal yet. Now they say touchdown.
Power play. Old school. This is 1973 football, Jaws.
I love it.
Off your right side. 96 power. Double team. Kick out. Pulling guard. What a job by Davin Joseph, their Pro Bowl right guard. And LeGarrette Blount continues to take that play to new heights.
Wow. Guys, he was in the air long enough as he swipes the ball inside the pylon. I don't think he was out of bounds. It's a scoring play, so it's automatically reviewed upstairs. They wait downstairs to say if it's confirmed or they need to look at it again. Ron Winter, the referee, is looking at his pager, waiting for confirmed or not. That's why we're waiting on the extra point. They waited a long time, about 15 seconds, to make a call of touchdown or not, with the 2 officials at the pylon. But what a run by Blount. And they want to take one more look. So here's the lean out, not out of bounds, reaches forward, gets inside the pylon. From there, every look I've seen says touchdown.
Touchdown.
Let's look again here. He's flying above the out of bounds stripe.
This is 255 pounds, Mike.
So Winter is standing next to the kicker and the holder, waiting for the confirmed, and it is confirmed a touchdown as he whistles the ball ready for play on the extra point.
Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator for the Bucs, sensed that Colts defense was gasping for air. He pounded them.
Barth the extra point. First Buccaneer lead of the night.
Blount was doing the pounding, Jaws.
Hey, you got
Greg Olson called some great plays.
You got to dial up the number.
Josh Freeman diving for that first down on 3rd down, and then back-to-back downhill physical runs by LeGarrette Blount and put the Buccaneers in great position.
The head coach of this team, Raheem Morris, we told you he's 35, turned that in September. He coined a phrase of youngry. He said, we have a very young team, the youngest team in the NFL, and we are hungry. So he said, why not call us, his term, youngry? Well, they've got 20 guys on this team who were waived at one point in their career. A guy like one who was undrafted, he was waived by Tennessee. And what they've done is try to build that us above everyone else mentality. That's a little bit of the hunger and the anger guys like Blunt play with.
Raheem Morris is an excellent young coach, and he did it the right way. He came into the league as a quality control guy, went back to college to become a defensive coordinator, became a secondary coach. He's taken advantage of his opportunities. The players believe in him. They have to eliminate these penalties and find a way to close out the Colts with their defense.
7-point lead. Michael Kanan, a very rare free agency acquisition by Tampa. He's paid off with deep kickoffs and no return. Here's the last drive.
Well, Josh Freeman does a great job of escaping the rush. You got to love that first down effort. Hey, give it to Blunt. Look at the blocking downfield. Now you get it to this guy, 255 in space. He's going to run over people. And what a nose for that pylon, LeGarrette Blunt. It was all on you, big fella.
This is where the Tampa Bay Buccaneer crowd has to make their 2 cents felt. They need to help this defense against this young, beat-up offensive line of the Colts. And they need to help their team win this game.
First sellout here in over a year. Curtis Painter's pass is incomplete. Adrian Claiborne brought the pressure. So Curtis Painter getting his first start. Peyton Manning, and these are the situations he loves, he lives for, he's thrived in over the years. And now he's reduced after the neck surgery to just listening to the plays and watching it all happen. His chess pieces without him moving them.
Well, if Jeff Lincoln back to left tackle doesn't slow down Adrian Claiborne.
Painter, quick game. Caught with a gain of 5 by Austin Collie. He'll mark it at 4. 3rd and 6 coming up with 3:05 to go.
Yeah, that's the problem you have with the play calling. You're so limited in what you can do because of the pass protection. The ball has to come out quickly.
Now they move it back up to the 25, so it's 3rd and 5.
And Tampa Bay has their 4 premier rushers out there. McCoy inside. Number 71 at the top of the screen. Michael Bennett's had a big night. And Adrian Claiborne's looking to get off on the snap at the bottom of the screen.
Painter has time. Nearly intercepted by Elbert Mack. 4th down, 3 timeouts, 3 minutes left. They're going to punt.
Good defense all around. And a pass rush. Claiborne working against Lincoln Bach on an inside move. Good outside counter spin. Coverage down the field's held up too. Raheem Morris, his Buccaneer defense have done a nice job mixing man with zone coverages.
Punt here by McAfee. Oh, what a kick. Kick of the night. Preston Parker at the 20. Spinning. Across the 30 to the 32 with 2:46 to go. Sports Center right now. Show me what you got, Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, here's what happens when the Yankees and the Tigers. It was 4-4, bottom of the 7th. Delman Young sends this one out to right. Solo shot that gives the Tigers the 5-4 lead. Top of the 9th, the Yankees got 2 on, 2 outs, 2-2 count, but Derek Jeter strikes out. The Tigers lead the series 2-1. Back to you guys.
Papa Grande, Jose Valverde, who talked after the game, closes it out. Tigers can close it out. I know where I'm going to be tomorrow night. 3 timeouts for the Colts and the 2-minute warning. 2:46 to go.
And last week in this situation, they slammed LeGarrette Blunt right off the right side. 4 consecutive times the exact same play.
There goes Blunt. Gain of 3. Indianapolis stops it here at 2:40. Well, they're waving timeout on the far side. 2 extra seconds ran off the clock. To 2:38.
You know, in this 4-minute offense that the Buccaneers are in right now, it's a hard offense to defend because it starts with LeGarrette Blunt. You have to commit gang tacklers to that pile or you can't bring them down. And then when you do, Freeman can pull that ball out of there, and he's a factor running out the other end, Jaws.
You know, it's just amazing when you watch Blunt run. I mean, people bounce off him. He's just a big bone guy. You can't grab him. It seems like they slide right off him. You mentioned that Atlanta game last week. The Falcons had numbers in the box. They couldn't bring him down.
They put the 3 seconds back on the clock, 2:41. Trey just showed you the highlight of the Tigers winning in Detroit. What a scene it'll be next Monday night when we go to Detroit for the Bears and Lions on Monday Night Football, 8:30 Eastern next week.
John, tonight, Blunt, yards after contact, 47. Big number.
Second and 7. Play pass here. Just run it. Freeman stay in bounds. Get the first down. Check, check, check. Did everything he needed to. Just shy of midfield.
Yeah, it's hard to defend this style of offense. You have to commit people to stop the run. Go ahead. Stop that run off the right side. Freeman will come out totally naked on the backside, a naked bootleg, and there's nobody there. Great play selection from Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator of Tampa.
How can you not love the awareness of Josh Freeman? Knew where the first down sticks were, stayed in bounds. Boy, this quarter he's been terrific running the football as well. Freeman runs of 6, 7, and that one 12 yards. He's contributed with his legs.
You know, this is the time you love to be an offensive lineman. You have a 7-point lead, and you know that the coach is probably going to call 3 or 4 hard ball runs in a row. And I know a lot of these linemen. They were just puppies when I was here. Look at Trueblood. He's making $10 million now. Joseph signed a contract for $52 million. Donald Penn makes $47 million on the other side. I said, you guys are in a totally different tax bracket now. But they love coming off the ball and finishing games physically with their offense on the field.
Mathematically, the game not over. Colts can still get it back with 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning, but another first down, and it's done. Blunt up the middle. Look at him rolling through Cavell Connor out to the 45, and Jim Caldwell takes his final timeout here at 2:20. 2:20 left. We started to mention it earlier. Next Monday night, talking about the Lions undefeated, taking on the Chicago Bears. 4-0 against 2-2.
I'm excited to see this young Matthew Stafford. What a rally he had yesterday against the Dallas Cowboys. This is a big-time young quarterback, much like we're watching Josh Freeman tonight. Playmaker with the game on the line. Strong arm. How about this guy, Calvin Johnson? Just look for number 81. Throw me the football.
They're going to hand the ball to Blunt again off the right side, Jaws. And I tell you, these linemen are telling the Colts exactly where they're going with it.
Blunt is stopped. It'll run down to the 2-minute warning, and the Colts keep themselves in the game by that stop. Now they'll have to stop the Buccaneers on 3rd down to get the ball back without timeouts and about a minute left. It's the only scenario to win for Indianapolis now. 2-minute warning here in Tampa. Buccaneers have rallied a couple of times. Lead by 7. Colts jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Tampa Bay responded with 10. Pierre Garçon caught his second long touchdown to make it 17-10. But then Indianapolis, 2 scores since, leading by 7 as we pass the midnight hour. And the clock's about to strike midnight on 0-4 for Indianapolis if they cannot stop Tampa Bay on 3rd and 4.
And last week, remember, Josh Freeman lured the Atlanta Falcons offsides with a hard count. Look for the Buccaneers to use Freeman's voice inflection to get a free 5 right here from the Colt defenders.
That's exactly what you're talking about, John, because last week they suckered Atlanta into it, and they gave them the first down to close the game. Didn't get it here. So what do you call that when you send that play out?
No snap, no play.
No snap, no play.
That's right.
And you got 1 timeout left, so you take it so you don't lose the 5 yards.
Yeah, and if you get the other team off sides, Well, you let them know about it. That time, good discipline by the Indianapolis Colts. Let's see what defensive coordinator Larry Coyer has up his sleeves right here for this Colt defense in a critical must-stop situation.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy what they can do, John. On the left side of their defense, load it up because that's where LeGarrette Blount's going to pound it in there. But then you got to worry about Freeman booting out the backside, and he's pretty tough in space to bring down.
Well, LeGarrette Blount still in the game. Winslow's back, so you have to be alert for some kind of bootleg in this situation.
It's the attention of Colin Franklin, the rookie tight end. Must stop for the Colts. Blount to the left, wrestled down, still goes very close to the first down marker. The clock continues to run. Let's check the spot here.
Unbelievable effort.
Wow. Tyler Brayton, 6'6", 280, and was spinning him around, and he kept those legs going.
A lot of white Colt jerseys, grabbing him, pulling him, tugging him. He would not come down. Anger coming in. Can't grab him. Powers coming in, trying to drive him back. Bethea coming in. Everybody's in.
He's got to be just a fraction short on this.
Interesting in this era of passing, the big back. What's the concern of the teams that pass it so much? Can you run it and close the game and make first down?
Absolutely, Mike. You know, you throw the football to score, you run the football to win. That's been a proven philosophy.
Oh, man. Get out of the way, Jeff Fain.
Just short.
Look at LeGarrette's down there. You can't be serious.
And now you have a 6'6", 265-pound quarterback. Do you just close your line splits and let Freeman run a wedge quarterback sneak and end this game?
Or do you play the odds and punt it, John? They're tough choices.
We're bringing another offensive lineman in Ted Larson on the field. Both teams are out of timeouts with 1:44 to go, and Blount was tackled inbounds.
That's a credit card is all they need for the first down. I'd be surprised if Josh Freeman doesn't sneak it himself, uses Pro Bowl right guard Davin Joseph, got a veteran center in Jeff Fain, and get the first down.
So for spotting purposes of where the ball is in the last 2 minutes, all reviews happen upstairs. And spotting relation to a first down is a reviewable play. So the booth upstairs will and has gone down to Ron Winter and asked him to come over and take a look at the spot. The ruling on the field is he's yay shy, a fingernail shy.
This is unbelievable.
So they'll look at it in review.
Okay.
This is virtually impossible to come up with anything definitive out of this look because so many bodies are in the way of LeGarrette Blount with about half the Colts trying to bring him down. You're trying to find out where a body part was down at the forward point of the ball, and here's Ron Winter.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is fourth down. The game clock will start on the ready for play.
There's absolutely nothing as we looked at the multiple replays. And one of the main reasons is this, as this great look right down the mark is there. The down marker is right in the spot obscuring where Blount and the ball are when it comes down. So there's nothing you can see in any one of the 6 replays we looked at break that can change it.
I'm tired of looking at replays. This 4th and an inch, I think that's what's at stake here. This game is on the line, Jaws. What do you think, Freeman?
Quarterback
over the top?
6'6", 265, maybe 270. Over the top, first down, lights out.
You got to get out of the huddle here quickly. We'll be down to 111. Keeps it, sneaks it, moves forward. Just a big pile trying to get to the ball. As long as Freeman comes out of there with possession of the ball, it's first down and game over. First down, game over. And Tampa Bay is going to win.
It's an impressive way that the Buccaneers closed out the Indianapolis Colts tonight. A physical running game and a gutty call here on 4th and an inch. Watch for yourself. Wedge blocked. Everybody steps inside. No penetration, and they let their 6'6" power forward of a quarterback go get it.
It is a gutsy call, John. You know, sometimes those things get stopped, turn it around. Colts get the ball back, but not to be. Raheem Morris showed great confidence, not only his young quarterback to get the first down, but his offensive line to come out and establish a little seam for him to get it.
And the Indianapolis Colts will fall to 0-4. Only one team in NFL history has opened 0-4, made the playoffs. Bobby Ross's first year in San Diego in 1992. The Colts, 10 straight seasons, those 10 wins, so much pride. 0-4, and we said this young team, 26 players under the age of 25 on the national stage for the first time with a big win. We'll talk about what the NFL has become. All the passing yards, the first 4 weeks of this season have had the most passing yards within a week in NFL history. The first 4 weeks are 1, 2, 3, 4 on the list in terms of passing yards. And the irony of that is these two guys from the class of 09, quarterbacks added to that, is that you needed old school, run it to kill the clock. And Tampa Bay got it with about 3 minutes left. They picked up a couple of first downs on the ground, and it's final. Bucs 24, Colts 17. Tampa Bay with New Orleans atop the NFC South at 3-1. And for the Indianapolis Colts, it is 0-4, and Kansas City next at 3 games on the road. The Buccaneers take on another surprise team to start the year in San Francisco to take on Jim Harbaugh's Niners next week. With John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Wendy Nix, our entire crew, Mike Tirico, good night from Tampa. The Bucs win by 7. We'll see you next week.